The Texas Rangers lost to the Angels of Anaheim 7-2 last night as slugger Adolis Garcia will participate in the home run derby at the All-Star game as the hometown representative. He has 17 homers on the season. In college athletics, UTSA announced a partnership with fast food chain Wendy's. They will be the presenting sponsor for UTSA's women's athletics program. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ, Rob, Vic, Edwin, the gang's all here.
All together. Not since Monday.
I know. Well, no, I wasn't here on Monday.
Well, that's right. So we haven't, not since last Friday. Or have we had the entire, not since a week ago Wednesday.
Wow.
No! Not even then.
No.
Was Edwin here that Wednesday?
He was, but Vic wasn't.
Vic wasn't. So it's been weeks
what a mess.
Since the band was totally together.
This is a late reunion is what it is.
What it is.
We're like I don't know. We're like one of those. We're like Oasis. We're one of those bands that keeps fighting, and then we say, you know what? Let's make some more money, and then we'll fight again after the show today.
So that's the one with the two brothers that just can't get along. Okay, we're not there yet.
Well, I can't wait till we are.
I want a couple of years from now when there's like huge success, and then but behind the scenes, the band was in turmoil. Remember that series?
Oh yeah, behind the music.
Behind the scenes, the band was in turmoil.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this whole time I've been trying to get Rob transferred to Iowa City.
Well, can we find if I'm gonna get transferred? We got some locales in Alpha Media that.
Nope. This is that in the behind the music. This is where I'm looking to punish you.
No, or I'm looking to form my own band.
Yeah.
Like I've gone off and I'm doing a secret podcast.
You've enraged me to a point that I'm like, I got to get rid of this guy.
Where can I put a secret podcast?
Where can I put him where I know he'll be miserable? Iowa City.
Speaking of these, have you seen the Nickelback documentary on Netflix?
I haven't yet. I'm sort of interested in it.
It's kind of like how you feel about the band. You're kind of like, well,
it's so funny.
I kind of like them
because all these bands that people will say, "Oh, this band sucks," and then you see, wow, they sold a lot of albums,
a lot of records,
and then on top of that, it's almost like clockwork. 15-ish years later, people are like,
you know what, they weren't that bad.
You know what? Yeah, I like that band.
I never got why it was hated, but they're never my favorite band. Anyway.
It was before Nickelback. There was Creed.
Oh well, Creed had their own particular set of issues.
But Creed was like, whatever you want to say, that was a massive band.
Yes, they were huge.
They were like their songs were all over the radio, all over commercials. Like they were a financial hit. Yet people were like, "Oh, that band sucks." I didn't find anybody who was like, "I'm a big Creed guy." Another band. Limp Bizkit.
Oh, well.
People were like, Limp Bizkit's, this is terrible music. Yet, millions of albums sold. Now, they're doing like reunion tours and selling out.
Because it's time.
There was a bunch of closet Limp Bizkit fans. Well,
it's of an age. That was what, mid-90s?
That was late 90s, early aughts.
Yeah. So that was that was just the dirty grunge punk.
And I think now Nickelback is now in vogue. And now they've got a Netflix documentary. Of course, they're going to be
made
popular.
It all the way. They've come full circle. If you despise for a moment, just wait. You'll come back into the good graces. But I watched a fair amount of it, and I was like, I don't get why everybody hated them.
I haven't watched it yet. I plan to.
That's much like the
I'm
band.
still going through the Saw movies. I'm on a mission.
Things you do when you're away from the wife. Things you can watch without any hesitation.
I finished Saw 5, but now I'm going to have to use the Google machines because they're no longer numbered. Now it's like Saw Final Cut. And it's like, damn it. Well, like, but how about Saw 6 Final Cut? I don't know if it's Saw 6. It's next on my recommended on Netflix.
Don't they feel repetitive now?
Of course
I
they
tried
do.
to watch all the John Wicks.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I didn't watch John Wick until
Me either.
less than a year ago.
Same boat, you and I. So I decided I got to catch up as this new one was about to catch. So after, I watched the first one and they killed his dog. And then the second one, they thought about killing his dog.
There's going to be one about Rob where they killed my chickens.
They killed my chickens.
They ate the heads.
Well,
they have to pay.
I have a story about this, by the way.
A news story? An update?
I have an update on the chicken deaths. But after you watch a couple of these, they all kind of blend together.
Oh, yeah.
Like
all the same.
If you ask me which John Wick did what, I'm like, well, in which, interesting way did he find to kill this guy? There's no difference. And it feels like Saw.
Well, there's one where he's in the hotel the whole time.
Yeah,
I know that.
That's the most recent one.
Okay. But yeah, they're all basically the same. Yeah, these Saw movies are all the same. None of them are like the first one was clever because it was a new idea. Like but now it's just kind of like, okay, like now the cop is a murderer, and it's like,
like I said, they all run together like the Fasters and the Furious.
His last name's Hoffman. Oh, and he's obviously a bad guy. That's the way it works.
If you're German,
that's the way it works.
There aren't too many German good guys running around in the popular world.
It's like Franz Wagner and who else?
I'm not even sure he's a good guy.
Is Orville Redenbacher German? That sounds like a German name.
Yeah, that's Iowa though. Isn't he like corn in Iowa?
Is he?
I think so. I think that was something about
Redenbacher? Orville
Redenbacher. He was sitting in an Iowa cornfield.
Let's find Vic. See if you can find the where Orville Redenbacher is from.
I think it's Iowa.
Well, I get that the company's from Iowa, but where's his?
I don't think there's a real Orville Redenbacher, dude.
Oh, I think there is.
That's a manufactured name.
So you're saying that guy is
I don't think that's really
person?
Orville.
He was an American scientist and businessman. Yeah.
There was really an Orville Redenbacher.
Yes.
I thought that was a made-up name. He was born and died in California, but Purdue? That's Indiana. So
yeah,
close.
He's from Indiana,
not Iowa, but a Midwestern corn-fed.
It's corn
that you can pop in a variety of ways.
There's a real Orville Redenbacher, a real Colonel Sanders. I don't know if he. What people also ask, what happened to Orville Redenbacher?
Good Lord,
he suffered a heart attack and drowned.
Poor bastard! What happened to Orville? First he had a heart attack, and then he rolled over into the water and died.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So what killed him?
Well,
the heart attack or the drown?
It was at 88, but death came unexpectedly at 88.
Well,
I got news for you.
No, it didn't.
Once you hit about 85, you might want to start expecting.
Yeah, I think maybe he didn't. I didn't know it was going to be so fast, though. Yeah. I knew it was coming. It was just the sudden deceleration that got me.
Didn't see that coming.
Did you watch the Uruguayan boxing match that turned into a football game?
No, that's on my list of things
to talk to you about
today. Yeah, it is on my list to discuss.
Do you think they knew it was coming? You think that the greater Charlotte, North Carolina vicinity had any idea of the you think they did?
They knew because
I don't think they did.
A lot of people don't know this, but Charlotte is home to there's more Colombians in Charlotte than any other city in the world outside of. Did you know that?
I was unaware, but
it's a totally made up lie.
Where are all the Uruguayans?
That's a made up thing. It's not true. I think there's 2 Colombians who live in Charlotte, and they operate a restaurant. But there was a lot of Colombians in the stands.
That's what I'm saying. And the Uruguayans and the Colombians brought their southern rivalry up here. Man, that's right. I don't think we were ready.
They said, "Oh, Tobacco Road, you ain't seen no rivalry yet, bub."
There's some people in Carolina today going, "See, I told you. I told you. You get a bunch of them together. Look what happened."
Yeah,
told you.
They're not sending their best.
They're not sending their best. Although, hats off to the Uruguayan team, man. You climb into the stands, Yes, sir. That's some old school stuff.
They ripped off their shirts and went up in only their sports bras, ready to fight.
I'm telling you,
I'll be honest.
It's most appropriate for a soccer player.
If you crawl into the stands in a sports bra, ready to fight me, I'm like,
he took off his nails.
I might be able to take that guy. He's like, look,
take the nails off, pull his earrings off.
Hold my eyelashes.
Hold my wig. I'm going in. My man bun's about to get loose.
Yeah, very strange. And I like you had to explain to me why they're wearing sports bras, but I feel like if I was gonna yank my jersey off and fight, and I had long hair, like if I had a ponytail,
I don't want to look like Brittany Chastain going into the stands. Take off your sports bra.
If I have a ponytail and I'm wearing a sports bra under my shirt, and I'm gonna yank my shirt off to be involved in a brawl,
trade some hands.
I gotta take my sports bra off too, because it looks crazy. Because it looks like a badass woman. And which by the way, look, a lot like when the fight's about to happen, it's like somehow happening in the part of the stands where there's the least amount of people.
Of course.
Like a lot of these people didn't want to be involved. They were like, they wanted to talk bleep, but once hands started throwing, look at that. It's like a sea of Colombians. We're like, we're getting away from this.
It's an old, I learned from a very young age, never get involved in a Panamanian, Uruguayan, Colombian brawl.
Why'd you just throw the Panamanians under the bus? What they do to you?
Wasn't the referee Panamanian? I don't know.
I
deeply distrust the shifty Panamanians.
Oh, how dare you?
If you haven't been paying attention to what's going on down there, they're shifty.
This show is maybe the most racist episode we've ever done.
No, it's not the race. It's just they took our channel.
What channel?
The canal. They took it. We gave it to them and they kept it.
Well,
what were shifty.
Where were they going to put it?
Well,
were they going to load it up on a boat and bring it here?
We gave it back to them, and they had the, I'm just saying, I don't trust the Panamanians. The Uruguayans, I had them pretty high on my list. Not anymore.
Well, Colombians, they looked scary because there was a lot of neck tattoos, like throat tattoos on the Colombians.
Well, go look at some of the Euro dudes, man.
Yeah. Dave. I guess it's a soccer thing, is throat tattoos and face tattoos.
I get tats. I'm down I don't care where you put them, but the neck one for a lot of reasons. I don't want any fast moving needles next to my carotid ever.
You always wear you're like a top button guy. So although you don't do it with those types of shirts often, with polos, you always have your top button.
I do. I would today, but this isn't. This linen in it. It kind of itches my neck.
Yeah, but if you had a neck tattoo, no one would ever know.
Well, when I first moved to Florida,
when you became Florida man,
for a brief shine in Florida moment, I'll even say the bank because it's gone under. It was WAMU. Okay, so I was moving assets, my vast financial assets from Texas to Florida, and I'm sitting in the bank
through Panama,
through the Panamanian intermediaries.
Through what Rob calls the Panama Channel.
Some call it a canal.
Rob calls it a channel. They stole our channel.
They stole our channel early in the morning. So anyway, long story short, I'm concluding moving money. It's like my life all in this financial transactions. And the dude's sitting looking at me. And he's a white tie, looks like a normal cat. The printer's behind him. He turns to reach for his printer, and as he does, he turns his head, and just out of his neck, just enough, I see a rebel flag neck tat. From the bank manager from WAMU, and I was like, wow. I wonder if I'd have been here if I'd have seen that the first time I met
you. And somehow that bank went under, huh?
You'd have thought. Who'd have thought? Now, we're not going to talk about how the money I got to WAMU, but we'll just say that it was.
Now, did you keep it there? Is the question.
I didn't lose any.
No, but I'm saying, did you like?
Yeah, by that, like what I'm saying, it had been hours of we're going to do this with that, and we're going to transfer money here, and we're going to do all this, and I'm finally signing all the stuff as money has been transferred from other accounts. Like, okay, we're going to wire this money in. It's I'm moving my entire life money into the state of Florida.
Yeah, I'm concerned.
And then he turned, and I see that, and I went, wow.
I think you're like I change up my money management strategy as soon as as soon as I saw the rebel flag neck tattoo. I think I would have said, you know
bank
what?
manager, not just like the teller.
I'm going to go over to Morgan Stanley, or Edward Jones,
Well,
anywhere.
All of those places went very quickly belly up in the 08 thing, and I'm not surprised.
But I guess I actually blame this one guy for all of it.
That I
think about it.
It was those intricate financial transactions that I brought to the WAMU branch in in Oviedo, Florida.
Yeah.
Brought down the chain, and that chain of events like the what's it called? The butterfly effect.
Yeah.
I began the financial crisis of 08.
Rob's money manager, David Duke Jr.
You mean the baller?
No, different David Duke Jr.
Him.
Was the reason for the 08 financial collapse.
Because I brought all my Panamanian channel money.
That's right. All right. We just missed it. I hate when this happens. I like when we're on the radio and that thug ass Scotty Scheffler gets arrested, and it's like, wow, we got right in the thick of it. Well, yesterday, right after we get off the air, it's like, oh, Kawhi's been, how did they word it? Removed from, or we
sent him home.
We sent him home. He's been escorted from the building or something like that, which is it's wild. But there's drama around Team USA basketball. We'll talk about it next. The Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM San Antonio Sports Star. If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
I hope everybody's got all their digits today. I see 15 digits in here. 30. Math is hard. Man.
Kept all my fingers but lost a hand. The brilliance of Joe Reinagel. You couple that with how long it took you to figure out that LeBron is sleeping with the teammate's mom.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Sometimes those independent bands are the coolest people to hang around with compared to the really famous ones with security and bodyguards and everything. Sure. You remember Diner Junkies?
Is that the coolest anybody you've smoked a joint with?
Oh, no. Who's the coolest people you smoked a joint with? Michael Turley.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
No.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-205-5350. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-205-5350 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Kohl's knows that summer is for spending time outside with family and friends, but they also know that can lead to your plans becoming overcrowded with travel, hosting, weddings, and graduations. Luckily, with great brands and great prices, you can stay ready for any summer getaway or get-together. Find everything from patio essentials and grilling go-tos to beach faves and poolside picks. Plus, get styles for everyone in the family and for every occasion. So don't wait. Hurry to Kohl's or Kohl's.com and bring home whatever you need for wherever the season takes you.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
The wait is over. Dell Technologies Black Friday and July deals are live. Check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15, powered by Intel Core processors. The XPS 15 brings you the perfect balance of power and portability, plus stellar visuals and immersive sound. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics, plus free shipping on everything. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. See how I punched that right there?
You did that well.
A puncher.
You know, when you punch it in like this, that's a sign of restaurant quality radio. That's what I've been told anyway.
I got the boss man, the higher ups were like, hey,
our suit.
I notice sometimes when you come into a segment, you're like,
you're floating in.
Yes, San Antonio Sports Star 94.1.
Your job is to remind everybody where they are.
And he's like, I'd really like you to just punch it in there. And
a good solid left hook.
So that's what I'm going to do from now on. He said, it sounds like you're doing an imitation of someone, and I don't know who it is.
I didn't get that. I did. Yeah. When he said that, I didn't get that at all. But,
and I said, well,
but you know, I had noticed.
Yeah. You'd notice I
just wanted to see if you'd fix it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that, you know, you had to have the suit remind you of something.
Yeah. The boss man had to come down. I mean, he came down on me hard. So, you guys saw it. I was like crying in the meeting.
Hard. And so Vic, make sure you cut this and send it to our suit.
It was
our 3-letter suit.
It was alarming.
It was
harsh he
violent.
was.
It was almost violent. I felt like he brought something to the table that really didn't need to be brought.
I mean, at least
escalated so quickly.
Maybe don't do it in front of everybody, right?
Well, there's things that he made you do in front of. It just wasn't right.
He belittled me.
He did.
But now I'm like, listen, I'm gonna punch it in from now on.
And that was a pretty good punch in. See,
so here right off the bat, I come in. Before I started this though, you heard what I said, right?
Yeah.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star
in the radio voice too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be wacky morning DJ when I do that.
Well, I'm glad you did it.
But now I'm gonna
check the
box. I'm getting to the point.
We're doing restaurant radio. So here we go.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna give the boss the finger. He doesn't come down on me often.
We just, you know, I like it that everybody gets a little glimpse behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That this is a highly orchestrated.
And AJ got yelled at yesterday.
By the numbers kind of thing. This isn't just off the cuff.
I was basically undressed and humiliated in front of the entire crew.
On a conference that involved several cities and states conference call. AJ
Big
was
hitters
pulled out in front of the man.
And they said, what do you think this is,
pulled
Bubba?
His pants down and spanked him.
You said, you think this is happy fun time?
We just sat back and laughed.
Yeah. And Rob, This was Rob too. He was like, "Yeah, I noticed that. I
Yeah.
wish he'd come in a little
I
punchier."
thought he should be too. I'm glad you saw that, Mr. Suit. Did you notice
And I
how I
was
noticed that too, Mr. Suit? Did
And
you notice that?
I looked over at Rob. I was like, "Really, man?" And he's like, "You could be punchier."
I'm just saying. I'm here to help. It's all constructive.
Yeah.
We're all on your team, AJ.
Kawhi Leonard not on the team.
We're used to him not being on the team. Welcome to the party, Team USA.
Kawhi. Now, this is odd to me. So here's the deal with Kawhi. Now, Kawhi said, like maybe a week ago, my knee is not 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go through the the first few practices and see how it holds up.
Had he talked to his Uncle Dennis?
I don't know Uncle Dennis.
I'm
You'll
not
have
sure
to
he'd spoken with
fill
Uncle
me
Dennis.
in on Uncle Dennis. Is Uncle Dennis his decision maker?
Well, legend has it that he is.
Okay. Well, he said, I don't know how my knee is going to hold up, so I'm going to either have some practices and then make a decision. Which is an odd thing to say when you're in, like, let's face it, if this were 1992, there'd already be McDonald's cups with your face on it.
Well,
what would we be doing with those?
We'll continue
Would we
with the
send those
story.
McDonald's cups to the kids in Africa?
Well, AJ, that part of the Team USA was taken care of. He took the picture.
And now he's gone.
He lasted just long enough for the team photo.
That is convenient, isn't it?
I'm just pointing out that he lasted 4 days until the team photo. The official team photo. He did that and
now
evidently
gone.
hurt his knee while posing.
Coming off the podium
for his Team USA photo. And is now unable to continue.
He does look intimidating. I mean,
look at him. He's in pain. He's in agony right there.
The knee does look bulky in that photo.
Yeah.
But
look at those mitts, man. It's just
it is
crime.
But they did say that, and not only did Team USA say it like this, but like ESPN Sports Center, they were like, what's that gal's name? The blonde-haired lady, Linda Cohn.
Oh, the legend. That is Linda.
Linda Cohn was like, Kawhi Leonard is, how did she word it? Basically like asked to leave.
Grant Hill said we asked him to leave.
What?
It was a they're saying it was a unified decision that Lawrence Frank, team president's there. Of course, Ty Lue is an assistant on the team. And of course, Kawhi's many helpers and assistants came to a group decision is what we're hearing.
But was kindly asked to not come back?
Basically, well, I think they're going to cover for the fact that the Clippers felt like, he's going to need to rest, but he didn't want to be there.
Then why don't you just say that to begin with?
I don't see. That's the thing that everybody who's ever dealt with Kawhi says, well, why didn't you just tell us? Because I guarantee you, I have no background on this. Kawhi took his team picture, packed his bag, went out to his car, and left, called his agent, said, I'm not coming back, man. I don't want to be here. And left his agent high and dry.
Because
that's what happened.
I got news. Like, Kawhi is like, the idea that he played all these games this year, this is like the most games he's played in how many years? 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
If he said, yeah, I'm gonna take this summer and just let my body heal up.
No one would be mad.
No,
like, we get it, bro. Especially his Clipper crew. Thank you. Stay home.
Well, he doesn't have any teammates there anymore. They're all.
He's got Russell and James.
Yeah,
those dudes.
Those
in
guys
his corner.
They're not worried about winning games. They
They're
don't
all
care.
telling, you know what I'd do? Take the team picture and leave.
That's
what I'd do.
They're like, you know what I'd do? I'd ask for your teammates to get some of that Paul George money.
Can you believe he took the team picture and left? Can you believe that this cat did that? That is that's like showing up to like somebody's birthday party, taking the photo and leaving with your present. Like, well, no, I was there.
It's really odd. Kawhi's the whole image of Kawhi is so strange to me because before he left San Antonio, like he had this image as like it's all about ball, Like
all I want.
Nothing else matters. And now it's like he's turned into this weird character. It's a much different character than Kyrie Irving, but it's also much like Kyrie, a pretty unlikable character. And what it's done now is every time something happens with Kawhi, it's brought into question, like the authenticity of it is. It's like, oh, it's because of this. It can't, like the idea that it could just, like Kawhi was testing his knee and it didn't feel right, so he's leaving.
Just say that.
Like if had, but nobody would believe it. No,
it's the Kawhi narrative. My knee is hurting. I'm not even coming to camp.
Yeah.
But I don't get why he committed and came knowing full well in the back of his mind, I ain't doing this. I don't want to be here. I don't like all the, and I don't know why he's got such social anxiety, but he does. And he didn't want to be there at all. And people rely on this kind of crap. Dude, people relied on you.
Well, I mean, the Clippers gave him bajillions of dollars.
I just don't get it. I will never understand how people like this continue to get away with it.
Well, here's what we'll do. We're gonna. There's more on this story to talk about outside of just Kawhi. We'll hit back on this topic at around 7:30. So if you want more Kawhi talk, tune in then. If you don't want that Kawhi talk, well, tune in anyway, or just turn your radio really low when we say his name. But on the other side, we're going to talk about the replacement, and another former Spur gets the call for Team USA, and there's controversy there too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it next. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the city of Houston, well, they got pounded. That includes where the Texans play football. What's the latest on that? We'll talk to the General John McClain.
He joins us at 5:15. We'll also talk about the debut of the Netflix series Wide Receiver. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, everyone. Broadcaster and ER physician Dr. Jerry Punch here. We all know about the speed of sound, but have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? If you drive over the speed limit, there are lots of sounds that you might hear. You could hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, the sound of first responders desperately trying to save you. You could even hear the sound of people crying at a funeral. Because if you drive over the speed limit, you could do damage that's beyond repair. One way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months. AI, and you don't need
I'm out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
I always do my best to prep for summer, but sometimes things just come up. And when they do, Kohl's and their great prices are always there for me. I just shopped their summer cyber sale and saved big on everything I was missing, like summer must-haves under $15, floor care essentials for 50% off, and kitchen appliances for 30% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. So no matter what happens the rest of the summer, I'll be ready. Thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the first annual Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 3rd from noon till 2 p.m. while supplies last at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children. Only while supplies last, so don't be late. Saturday, August 3rd from noon to 2 p.m. at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm and in part by Las Palapas, ProStar Home Care Services, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
.941 San Antonio Sports Star. Push, punch. This sounds like a pro wrestler intro.
What would your walk-up music be?
Like I feel like I would be. This feels like a Triple H who could walk out to this.
What
and
would
do
yours be?
Water spitting thing.
Would you have one?
I don't know. Every time I fought, I had a different walkout song.
Oh, that's right. You've actually had
Yeah.
the opportunity to have one in my life. I've had I've emceed events, and they've asked what kind of music they're playing as we intro you.
Yeah,
and I've never known what to, because it's never the appropriate. Like, can you do
Hell's Bells?
Sandman? No, you're talking to the any baby. You're talking to a bunch of moms with kids.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was Sandman, probably not the best one.
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson. I'm kind of down with that. Do you guys have any Slipknot?
Yeah,
that's really what I want to come out to.
Push my fingers into my eyes.
Anyway, at some point, I would like to have a realistic, have them need to have walk-up music.
When I worked in radio in Austin, I would my PD used to get mad because I would let music play for a long time.
I love lower, yeah.
So I would I'd start the show and there's a song, I think it's called Welcome to the Show. But I'd let it play, and I'd let it play something 45 seconds before I'd even talk. Like it would have already played my intro, like my name, and then it'd be like the AJ Hoffman show.
You got a job.
I'd be like, I'd just be jamming out, and people, and this was like before YouTube or anything like that. I was just like, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let the vibe build. Let the let it, let them marinate in it,
or let people land and think, where am I? Hit the button again because they thought they landed on a music.
Well, it's like, yeah, but.
I know what your PD was saying. That's why you get called out in meetings, AJ.
I know.
That's why you are in front.
I need to start being a little punchier.
But that was a good punch in.
Thank you. And you noticed before I started talking, I punched. You know what?
Something to live by, really.
We're going to talk about this Derek White thing. But in the next segment, I've got some complaining to do again. Derek White named as the replacement for Kawhi Leonard. And even that was not without drama. And I kind of get it. There's a long list of players that they could have taken, and they chose Derek White. And I'm not saying Derek White's not a good player. I'm not saying Derek White's not a good choice. But I'm saying there's there's guys who are probably better.
Okay, this is going to start being very annoying today, because are we sending all-stars, or are we sending a team?
We're sending our best.
Are we sending our best team or our best guys? Because that's also different.
It is different.
So when we talk about this today, I think there's valid points on both sides, but we have to decide, what exactly are we sending? Are we trying to send guys that have earned the right to go?
What have we done historically?
Well, historically, we have found when we send guys that have earned the right to go, these are our 15 best players, regardless of position or play, we lose. Historically, when we do that, we lose. And when we put together teams that have guys like Mason Plumlee and, that you go, what? But they fit onto a team, we win.
Like in 92, we won because of Christian Laettner.
Yes, absolutely. It was because he was the one that brought the Krzyzewski-ness. Then we just overwhelmed. But if it's about, earning it, if it's about you've earned it, you've been here long enough, you get to go, then we have an argument. But
in this case, the argument would be for, I think the guys that people are really discussing as the guys that it could have been other than Derek White I think there's two names, and there could be more. Like you could, if you had said, why isn't Damian Lillard getting called? I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll hear that. Why isn't Donovan Mitchell getting called? I hear that. These are some of the best players we've got. But Kyrie Irving,
who has history, by the way,
and is it has a good skill set for an international game. Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown are the two names that have popped up the most. And it could be because they are both not Nike guys, at least not anymore.
Right.
Kyrie was once a Nike guy, and then he said some things that a lot of people thought were anti-Semitic. And
he was doing the anti-vax. He was doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
And Nike decided, this isn't for us anymore. Phil Knight said he crossed the line. And when Phil Knight said that, guess who swooped in? Jaylen Brown swoops in and says, "Oh, now Nike cares about ethics now?" Like all of a sudden, ooh. So now that's two guys that are persona non grata. How would you say that? Persona if there's more than one? Personas non grata. Would you have to add the S?
I never took Latin.
Personas non gratis. I don't know. That's a different show for a different day. I'll have to punch that in later. But two guys who are not in the best of light with the major sponsor are now passed over for whatever you want to say about Derek White. And I like Derek White as a player. I think Derek White, it was nice to see him get some flowers as like a key piece for this title team. It's nice to see him get some money. He ain't Kyrie Irving and he ain't Jaylen Brown.
Let's not kid ourselves.
If I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm looking at Team USA. And by the way, he looked at it yesterday and said, "Oh, Nike, this is what we're doing?"
What was it? A monocle?
And he did 3 monocle emojis. Like I'm inspecting this closely with my monocle. And then he put it 3 times.
I'm going to need to take a hieroglyphics course. I'm going to have to catch up on all what the emojis mean.
I would have used the emoji, like when something like that, if that happened to me, like if
I got to pull up my list of emojis. What would I have posted?
If the Texas Radio Hall of Fame,
like this,
which I'm not in the Texas Radio Hall of Fame, which is kind of a joke at this point, but
for you,
it's by them. The fact that I'm not in it is absurd.
It's a shame.
But if they said, okay, the inductees for the Texas Radio Hall of Fame this year are, I don't know,
Jason
Minix, and I'm left out, I would have used the emoji that has the 2 big eyes. Like, That's unbelievable, is what that emoji means to me. Or like, how could they let that happen? I didn't know the monocle one is not one I typically go to.
I'm trying to find it on my.
Just type in monocle. I forgot you're an Android user.
I can do that.
You're a plebe.
See, because I have an Android, all I have to do is think it.
Oh,
it reacts.
You think it and stare at it for 3 minutes, and then
it happens. See, here it is. It just popped right up. Right? Just,
it was
didn't even have to
immediate.
type. It just immediately. See, but you guys,
it
Apple,
punched in.
See, we call you A's. We call you
a-holes.
We call you a-holes. You a-holes don't get it. See, us
That's right.
Samsonites. All we got to do is think it, and it happens. Where were we? This is the idea. Jalen, I'm sorry, bro. It just wasn't your time. I'm sorry, man. There's other guys that are doing what you would want to do.
Hi, I'm Jalen Brown. My team just won the NBA title. I was the finals MVP. There are 3 of my teammates on Team USA. I'm the highest paid player in the NBA.
Yeah, go home and count your money.
What about me is saying, no, not this guy.
Go count your money, man. Jalen's got you. Derek's got you.
Jalen Brown is he's a free agent when it comes to shoes. He signed with Adidas out of college and wore Adidas for, I think, his first 5 years. And since then, he has felt like the offers that he's gotten from shoe companies are not enough for him to rep their brand. So what he does is he, for the most part, wears Kobe's
that have been,
but they're modified, so there's no swoosh on them. There's no, so they are Kobe's, but there's no logo that would signify that these are Nikes. Nike probably doesn't like that.
Probably not.
But it's hard for me to justify saying Jalen Brown, finals MVP, NBA champion. We're going to take the 4th best guy on your team instead of you.
But there's something about him where he's not, he could be a bigger part of this conversation, but there's just something about the way he's adapted to the Jalen and Jason scenario that he's an easy leave off. I don't know why.
People are still convinced he's somehow like a lesser player than Jason Tatum.
I agree.
Despite all the evidence in the playoffs saying he is the better of the two, most people think Jason Tatum's their best player.
And I think he looks at it because I don't have that Nike backing, because I don't have their leverage to get other deals. I don't have the Q rating. I'm just not known like the other guys. And he has a chip on his shoulder, and I don't blame him.
All right, we're going to dig into this way more when we've got 6 o'clock hour. We've got short segments, so I've got to be real punchy, and I've got to do some complaining coming up. But we're going to get back into this topic in the 7 o'clock hour. Wrap up hour number 1 on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I want you to go to IFFhealth.com right now. The first opportunity. And I want you to take the functional health test. It's right on the opening page. I just want you to open it up, spend about 5 minutes, and take a test that could change your life forever. I want you to find out why and how the Institute for Functional Health approaches your health. And the functionality of this is really the key. Because Dr. Jacob Torres, who's been kind of my health mentor for the last 8 years, looks at health as a functional part of your life. That the modern healthcare system is broken, that you just go in when things are broken. You should go in when things are fine to keep things running. You go get your car tuned up, you get your oil changed when things are fine. Keep the functional part of that. And he applies that to his weight loss programs because it's all about your functional health and how can you live a functionally healthy life long past your last appointment with him. That's why he's been so successful. So if it's time for you to lose weight, or if it's just time for you to feel better, it'll probably involve losing weight, but some other things as well. I want you to call Dr. Torres and find out how you can live a functionally healthy life. That will include weight loss, but so much more. There's energy, lifestyle out there that you're missing because you are out of breath, out of time, and out of food. That's why I want you to call Dr. Torres today. Here's the number, 210-468-1891. The website is IFFhealth.com. Do your due diligence. Change your life. Call Dr. Torres today, and I know you're going to thank me later.
94.1.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9047. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9047. That's 800-575-9047. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circa Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. There at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the first annual Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 3rd from noon till 2 p.m. while supplies last at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children. Only while supplies last, so don't be late. Saturday, August 3rd from noon to 2 p.m. at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm and in part by Las Palapas, ProStar Home Care Services, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You like that?
Punched in.
Man,
Glass Joe.
I'm so bad at doing short segments that this is going to be a really short one. Our coffee here sucks, man. This is vile. I rarely resort to drinking coffee with it that I know is bad, but I needed it today, and it's bad. And I got to pick a bone with both of you. Rob, I'm not surprised on this, but Vic.
What?
Maybe I'll ask the Brigade Bar too, ask the audience. Whose responsibility is it to get rid of the pod?
The next person to use it.
No.
Yeah.
You get rid of your own trash.
No, it's too hot.
It's not too hot.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you don't have to touch it
I
right
pull
then.
mine immediately out and throw it away.
We're not all badasses like you.
It's not even hot. You just grab the rim.
No, I leave that for the next guy because I want them to know everything's safe.
I hate that you guys do that. With Rob, I wasn't surprised at all.
Yeah, when I get here in the morning, I'm the first one here. There's the pods from yesterday.
That's
probably.
gross.
Yeah.
You're scumbags. All right. On the other side, I want to talk about this power slap and Ronda Rousey talking about concussions. It's all linked together. Morning Huddle 94.1.
The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This is it. Shop the Lowe's closeout event to get up to 70% off select major appliances for your home. Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hi, this is Joe Reinagel for my friends at Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. You know, summer is here, and that means long, hot days for everyone and everything, including your roof. Our hot Texas sun pounding down can degrade and age your roof. So for residential or commercial service, you need a reliable roofer you can trust and afford. That's Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net or call them at 210-785-0994. That's 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Hi, I'm April Rose, and we all know about the speed of sound. But have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? If you drive over the speed limit, there are lots of sounds that you might hear. You could hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, the sound of first responders desperately trying to save you. You could even hear the sound of people crying at a funeral. Because if you drive over the speed limit, you could do damage that's beyond repair. One way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Maybe it's time to ask your checking account. What have you done for me lately? My Advantage Checking from Generations Federal Credit Union does more. My Advantage Checking pays you 2 days early, plus shopping rewards, identity protection, and much more. My Advantage Checking treats you right. So make the switch. Learn more at Generations Federal Credit Union. Member owned, community grown. Member eligibility requirements apply. For complete terms and conditions, visit mygenfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Hurricanes never go where they're supposed to, and I'm convinced there is a dome over the city of San Antonio because that thing just moved up east. As I'm watching it, thinking, okay, am I going to have to reroute
At
up
what
or whatever?
point did you think you might have to change your air travel?
Well, I was thinking about that actually on Friday. They have to come home early.
Responsible adult thing to do.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
Ride home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Center.
The Texas Rangers lost to the Angels of Anaheim 7-2 last night as slugger Adolis Garcia will participate in the home run derby at the All-Star game as the hometown representative. He has 17 homers on the season. In college athletics, UTSA announced a partnership with fast food chain Wendy's. They will be the presenting sponsor for UTSA's women's athletics program. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, what a show we've had.
Yeah, the fun you have already missed.
What a show it's been.
But the good news is you can catch up on all things that we might have done. If you go to sasportstar.com, we call it the Audio Vault. You can click there, catch up on yesterday. If you missed the Blitz, they're there too.
Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Yeah, that's good folks over there, been part of this station for a long time.
But also, you can just listen on the podcast player.
Yeah, like you can go there.
You know, wherever.
And we got kind of called out because we don't let callers on enough.
Yeah,
we need to let some people talk. And we know you guys call, and we know you sometimes you get put on hold. But
we'll work on that.
If you can type, you can talk.
We'll work on that. Well, maybe I think next week we'll start taking some calls.
Well, they'll have to earn it. I mean, we're not going to let anybody in. This is restaurant quality. See here, your punch-ins. I mean, you got to be, if you're going to punch in like this, you're going to have to measure up as a caller.
I'm hoping that our boss just listens to the first 10 seconds of each segment.
I'm not even sure he even listens.
Because if he does, he's going to be like, man,
he's punching in.
He is punching hard.
That is a hard puncher.
Coming right in. Speaking of punching, slapping, I slap in usually. I'm a slappy.
You're not a puncher, you're a slapper?
I'm a slapper.
Have you ever been like hardcore open hand slapped to the face?
No.
I don't think I have either. Like just like out of the movies where a woman is like, how dare you?
I've been
whack.
Yeah, I've been slapped by a woman. I thought you meant like by a.
Well, I mean, but like, was it like just the finger slap through the chin, or was it a full-on cup slap? You know, like.
Oh no. Like
I've
that.
never been like hardcore cup slapped by anybody.
I have been slapped like that on accident. Quote fingers on accident. Wrestling.
Oh, okay. Well,
like
that count. That doesn't count. I'm talking about just like
purposely
standing there, like unexpected, like how dare you? Or you're like, I'm gonna take you out, and just whap, open-handed slap.
I believe that I'd start a fight if that happened to me.
What would be worse? getting punched? Because this is part of this conversation. What's worse, getting punched in the face or slapped in the face?
I would rather get punched in the face than slapped in the face.
Well, with that being said, here we go.
So, Dumpling is the new big star of Power Slap.
I'm going to have to Google this.
His name is...
Oh, it's a dude. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Vasil Kamatsky.
And he goes by Dumpling?
He is a 34-year-old pig farmer from Siberia. He is a 360-pound man. This is a big-ass man.
Dumpling, pig farming Russian. Okay, we're going to...
And he was matched up against a guy named Camille Marzars, who's a 26-year-old from Orland Park, Illinois. And he slapped this fella. And I'll be honest, if you want to see it, you can go to the Power Slap Twitter.
I'm looking.
Did you see the slap?
I'm looking at his best of, and the Dumpling has put some people on their knees over his life.
So apparently he's like, this is Dana White, since the reason why he got into this Power Slap was because he saw the highlights of this guy. And this is the first time he's competed for Power Slap, which is Dana White's company. And it took one slap, and I'll be honest, it didn't look like he slapped him all that hard. And this dude's face changed, and he fell straight back, and it was like he's dead. Not dead, but like there was like a pause in the celebration because it was like, oh, maybe he is dead.
He might have just killed him.
And then someone yelled out, he's still breathing.
Thank God.
Yeah, that happened. It's a lot of controversy because this is did you see the slap?
I'm watching a series of so this is a sport.
It's not a sport.
Okay.
I don't think it is. I don't believe it's a sport. That said, it is. It's a spectacle. It's an event. There's a lot of people watching it. There's particularly a lot of people watching the highlights of it on social media. You know, Dana White will tell you 7 billion views in 17 months. That's what he'll talk about. It's like, this is how many you look on social media. This is what people want to see. It's bigger than anything that the NBA is getting, more than NASCAR, more than the NFL. So there's more people watching. Power Slap has gained over 1.5 million Instagram followers just in 2024, which is more than the NFL, Major League Baseball, and the NHL.
No. Or total. They have more total slap fight followers.
Instagram followers
than the NFL does.
Yeah. Well, the NFL's not putting their stuff on.
Well, I mean, but there's some validity to the claim that this is a popular thing that can, in fact, be considered a sport. And I'm old enough to remember when the Tough Man competition started rolling through town, when they would show up and anybody could go sign up and go win a $10,000 or whatever the prize was for that night in that town. And everybody talked about that. Like, man, this is human cockfighting. Somebody's going to die in there. And I'm sure people did, but it's still here.
So if you remember, the Tough Man contest was essentially, it was a way to let novice boxers, amateur boxers, make some money. And it was 16-ounce gloves, you wore headgear, and it was either 3 or 4 rounds, 2-minute rounds with a minute of rest in between. So it wasn't like a real boxing match, like a sanction. If you're a professional boxer, you fight a certain amount of rounds, but they are 3-minute rounds, and there is 1 rest minute in between. That's just the way boxing is sanctioned. This wasn't sanctioned everywhere, but it had a different rule set. And the problem with it is when you've got guys who aren't professional prize fighters, now it's just a bunch of dudes fighting, and people die. There were 6 fatalities in 1979, 10 others, or since 1979, 10 others in tough man style bouts, but it's like branded something differently.
How many people have died playing football in rodeo?
Plenty.
Over
Plenty.
the same time.
Rodeo, plenty. But the deal is, well, and remember that when they did the tough woman contest, and they were like, oh man, we had someone drop out. Does anybody want to fight? And they grabbed this gal out of the crowd, and she literally died of brain trauma that night. Like a gal who had no experience fighting. I think that's crazy. I don't think that should be allowed. But at least there, it's like you can make an argument. Well, it's like boxing. You're wearing gloves, headgear, you're doing things to protect the athletes. These are probably people who shouldn't be athletes, shouldn't be fighting, but they are. This tough man is just guys like, or the power slap is dudes taking turn. You flip a coin to decide who gets to slap first, and you take turns slapping each other until someone's knocked out, or
you flinch
after you're not allowed to flinch, or after 3 slaps, there's somehow a decision rendered. Like the judges say, well, he slapped better. I don't know how that can work. If if I slap you 3 times, you slap me 3 times, neither one of us fall down.
We'll call it a draw.
It sounds like no one won, but yet somehow there's a winner. But this is, a lot of states aren't sanctioning this. No surprise. But it is being sanctioned, and not only sanctioned, but like pushed in Las Vegas. Now, the UFC had a tough road to hoe when they became a sport. And contrary to popular belief, the UFC existed before Dana White was involved with it. Dana White will tell you he invented the UFC. That's a lie. But there was a real, it took a lot to be sanctioned. There's still some countries you're not allowed to do it. You couldn't have a UFC event in France until like 3 years ago. They finally said, okay, we'll allow, like we're seeing this now as an actual sport. And I'm as someone who has done it, like I look at it as a real sport. I think it takes real skill to do this sport.
To me like you've got a little bit of arrogance here.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Because it seems to me that the people that have the most problem with this slap fighting are guys like you that have been in an industry, at least a grappling or a fighting sport.
How can it be a sport if if it's literally taking turns punching each other? Like there's no defense. There's no, is running headfirst into a brick wall until someone falls down, like the last man standing after we both run into a brick wall. Is that a sport?
I never thought I would see a lot of things. I never thought I'd see the tough man competition. I never thought that'd get off the ground. I looked at it a lot like people look at this slap fight and go, what are you talking about? This isn't a sport.
Well, I don't know that tough man's off the ground.
Well, I mean, it just seems there's a difference between an exhibition and a sport. And once you define something as a sport, then you're allowed to do some stuff. And at some point, this the tough man competition transitioned to sport, and we all went, okay, that's fine. We'll accept this now. At some point, if there's enough people that want to do this slap fighting, and you can, get it insured and make it a viable business, you know what? I wouldn't do it, but I don't have a problem with it. If you want to do it, go do it. And if people will pay you to go do it, more power to you. Now, there's going to be some ramifications. If we will pay to see somebody strap their ass to a raging bull who has its nuts tied to its stomach and go, all right, go ride this thing for 7 seconds. I don't have a problem standing in front of another dude who's willing to get slapped real hard. I mean. Now,
for me, as you pointed out during pre-show about my philosophy on life, I won't even call it my political views, but like my philosophy on life is
just don't get in my way.
Yeah, do what you want to do and whatever. And I you know what? There's something to let natural selection take its course. Like if this is what you want to do, okay. But also part of my views is I don't want to pay for it. I don't want my tax dollars
Well,
to
there
go
you
to
go.
sanctioning this.
That's the natural of things. I'm more than happy if you can find your way to exist. Now, I'm not going to go out of my way to help you, but I'm also not going to go out of my way to hinder you. But you're going to have to make sure you're viable. There's things that you have to do just because you're part of our legal system and society. Like you're going to have to insure, and you're going to have to be profitable. You have to find people to come watch, and I'm not going to foster your growth. I'm not going to allow you something that nobody else gets. But if you can find your existence, go do it. Personally, I don't mind watching it. I wouldn't want anybody I know doing it. But, like you said, how many new followers? I mean, there's something there. And as long as somebody's willing to do it, now I know it's a slippery slope. I know it is. If you allow this, what's next? Bullet dodging? I mean,
that's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could find somebody to do it, are we going to let it go that far?
Someone's going to die doing this. And then they're going to be like, okay, we got to stop this. Like, and mind you, Dana White, while he was trying to get this thing off the ground, got caught on video slapping his wife in public.
There is that.
Which is like, by the way, if you're trying to start a slap company, like, it's probably the worst time. I don't know if there's ever a good time. It is the worst time to get caught slapping your wife on camera is when you're trying to build a slap fighting organization. The reason why I bring this up today is there's a story out now about Ronda Rousey, who, as you know, fought in the UFC for some time. We'll talk about this on the other side, which, by the way, somebody said on the Brigade Bar, when Dumpling knocks somebody out, he should say, "Get in my belly." He does rub his belly and say, "Feed me, feed me."
Go just Google it and watch some of these slap fighting. Now, he's taking a few himself.
He can take them.
Yeah.
He can take them.
Well, he took a knee on one of them. He met another dude, another Ivan Drago type that put him to his knees.
It looks like the next matchup is going to be Dumpling versus the Crazy Hawaiian. I can't wait for that. But again, this is like we are seeing. This is like the CTE awards. It's like, okay,
you're gonna die. You're gonna die young.
It's crazy. But so I want to talk about Ronda Rousey, who says she started getting concussions at a very young age, and no one stopped her. So we'll talk about that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1
What a shirt.
FM. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the first annual Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 3rd from noon till 2 p.m. while supplies last at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children. Only while supplies last, so don't be late. Saturday, August 3rd from noon to 2 p.m. at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm and in part by Las Palapas, ProStar Home Care Services, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
George gets justice.
At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our motto is simple. George gets justice. But what does that mean for you? It means you get an award-winning team of attorneys who will fight for everything taken from you so that you can get back to what matters in life. When we say George gets justice, it's just not a motto. It's a commitment to you. Call us at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
I believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Rob and AJ on a Thursday, baby. Baby Friday, Little Friday, Rob likes to call it.
It's Little Friday. We're almost halfway through Little Friday.
I know I sound like a bitch. I get it when I'm like, this is dangerous. This is. Listen, man. If these dudes want to go in and slap each other's heads off on social media, I'm not against it. All I'm saying is, this is not sport. This shouldn't be. This is where, like, if you had a fish, if we said we're both going to buy a mackerel, and we're going to take turns hitting each other with the fish until someone gets knocked out, that's not a sport.
All right,
it's hitting each other with a fish.
But there's a winner and a loser. So define what exactly a sport is. Is chasing a rolling ball of cheese down a hill a sport?
No, it's not. There's a winner and loser at Monopoly. Like
okay, define for me what you call a sport.
There's a winner and a loser at a Roman sword fight between a gladiator and a tiger.
But for a long time, that was a sport.
Right, until we became an elevated society and figured out, you know what, that's not really sport.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I've heard this argument in my lifetime about a thing that is now at, what are we at, 256 UFC bigger. I mean, I remember a time when they looked at guys that did the UFC thing, even though they had gloves on, and said, we can't do this.
Listen, I'm telling you now, in the 90s, before the late 90s, early aughts, before the UFC was widely accepted, I was beating the drum telling people this is no more human cockfighting than boxing. These are skilled. These are martial artists. I was telling you during the break, to get into the UFC, and you said the public perception is different than this.
Very different than this.
Like, you have to have a certain amateur background. You have to fight your way up through a regional scene. You have to have success on that regional scene. And if you're good enough, you can go to the UFC. For this, there's no, like...
But there wasn't this before. There might be something that's coming for this. I don't know.
You think there's like an amateur power slap organization that's going to be like, hey, We got the best slappers, the up and coming slappers. Like,
as ridiculous as this sounds, the same argument was made going, this isn't boxing. And no, and the retort was, no, it's not boxing. It is something entirely new. It combines all these different styles and this, and everybody goes, but there's boxing. Why would this is dumb? And somebody's going to die doing this.
And I get that they think it's dumb, but there's no argument that like jiu-jitsu is a sport. Jiu-jitsu is a sport. Judo is a sport.
And
boxing
Muay Thai
is a sport.
and all these other and the
Wrestling
retort
is a
was
sport.
always like, but you've got that, so just go do that.
So they're doing them all at once.
And
so,
this is like, well, at the end result of boxing is we want the knockout. So let's cut away the chaff. Let's get away from the dancing around jabbing, and all we'll get is knockouts.
But these are people who, I mean, none of these people, all these people are just like, you know what? I bet I could do that.
Yes, UFC.
I'm
the guy at the end of the bar, man, I'm the toughest son of a bitch in here. I'm going to fight somebody.
The difference is the UFC doesn't let those guys fight.
Well, they did initially, and just like this, it's kind of grassroots, is kind of growing. And we looked at that and said, there's no skill to this. And these guys standing in this Russian bar room go, yes, there is.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey, former UFC champion Ronda Rousey, really like a pioneer for women's MMA, one of the greatest women's MMA fighters of all time. She is retired from the UFC, retired from now pro wrestling, but she says that her concussion history, she had concussion issues before she even started fighting because she did competitive judo growing up. She started doing judo at 6 years old. She said multiple times a year I got concussions, and her coaches wouldn't let her. Her parents wouldn't let her say anything about it because you're not supposed to show any weakness. You're not supposed to talk about things like that. And when she got to the UFC, she was on a skill level that women weren't caught up to yet.
So she was taking people out.
She was dominant. She had a skill. Her skills as a judoka were so great that women's MMA just wasn't good enough to stop the one. And it was like, I'm going to do this thing to you. I'm telling you now what I'm going to do, and you can't stop
it. It reminded me, early Rousey was early Tyson. Well, she was doing things different. Like, you didn't want to get into the ring with her first 10 fights. I remember, like, my gosh, she's going to kill someone.
This is like early 1980s Nolan Ryan.
We're just
holding up the one, like, hey, fastball's coming. Good luck, Bubba.
Yeah, it was that. She was that dominant.
Ronda Rousey was like, I'm going to take you down and I'm going to armbar you, and you're going to lose.
But the rest of the world caught up, and we go, this isn't a sport. This is just fighting.
What happened is her last 2 fights, she got knocked out, and it was like ugly knockouts. The only 2 losses of her career, she gets knocked out, and she's now looking at it differently. Is like, wow, I got to a point where I literally could not be taking those head impacts and continue to not only compete on that level, but to live a normal life. Now, mind you, boxing, MMA, those types of sports, you are allowed to defend your head.
Mm-hmm.
You can avoid getting hit in the head to some extent. You can at least give your best effort to.
Right. Well, that's what you guys say on the inside. On the outside, us watching, we don't see how can you defend against that.
Watch Floyd Mayweather.
Well, yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is the fight. But again, you guys said, the viewers go, yeah, but I see a lot of knockouts. We're on the outside looking in on this. They'll tell you there's a skill to not getting knocked out. Ask Dumpling. I don't believe that there is.
I don't think so either.
But you go, well, they're the ones doing it, and they're telling me that you can. I think this is nuts. But I'll tell you what, when you told me that, when we were talking about it and I Googled it, I watched the entire thing. I couldn't look away,
dude,
because it is just the knockout.
It is fascinating.
Oh, man.
But again, I would also watch people, if they said, okay, we're going to take turns hitting each other with cinder blocks until somebody's knocked out, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'd probably watch that.
Once anyway.
But it's not a sport.
Well, exhibition
which,
sport.
by the way, Rob, listen, I don't know if you're the same way I am. When it comes to what I'll watch on social media, I'm a scumbag.
Oh, we all are.
If it's like two high school kids fighting in the back.
Yep. Going on.
Oh, this guy got punched and his face bounced off the urinal and he got knocked out. That's hilarious. I'm guilty of that. I'm not saying
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm not guilty of watching this power slap stuff.
What gets me is, will we, with all these new signups, will you want to be seen in a crowd watching it live? Or will this always be, if it's ever going to make any kind of money, a pay-per-view thing? That nobody amongst their friends wants to admit that they would pay any money at all to watch 15 consecutive slap fights.
Yeah.
But on the internets by yourself, will you pay $1 or $2 just to? I think that there's something there.
Well, I think part of the success of this thing, and I don't know if Rumble costs anything. It all goes on this app called Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's free. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But if you want to watch Power Slap, you can watch it.
Is that what it's going to be called? Power Slap?
That's what it is called.
Okay, Power Slap.
Now, and you can watch it for free on Power Slap's Twitter or Instagram feed.
Do I get ad?
I don't think so.
So nobody's promoting.
But I'm
it
telling
yet.
you this: there were 3,500 people in the Fontainebleau on Saturday, the new shiny hotel in Vegas. Which, by the way, if you want like you want a plate of nachos in Fontainebleau, it's like $60 and you get 6 nachos.
And they're watching slap fighting.
People people are paying $3,500 a head.
Here it comes, man.
To go in and watch these people slap each other. So
here it comes.
Yes, there are people who are willing to pay to watch this stuff. It won't be me.
Well, discreetly, it will be.
It won't be. I'll watch it for free on Instagram. I won't give $1 to this.
But the thing is, you won't, but an advertiser will. It'll be sustaining. As
Until
you're watching
somebody dies.
some dumpling get dropped off, the scroll underneath will be go buy the beer, go do this.
Until someone dies. And then the advertiser will be like, ooh.
Wrangler's still sponsoring rodeo. I saw a dude get thrown into the stands 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see it lasting long term. I cannot see it lasting long term. All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, I want to get more into the Team USA drama. Did they do the right thing? Do they have the right guy? We'll talk about that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the city of Houston, well, they got pounded. That includes where the Texans play football. What's the latest on that? We'll talk to the General John McClain.
He joins us at 5:15. We'll also talk about the debut of the Netflix series Wide Receiver. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
What a weird, the whole thing, if you go back to the COVID moment, and here comes the Tiger King.
Everybody's going to go back in the history books. It's going to say COVID, and then it's going to say Tiger King.
This crazy gay meth head tiger tamer.
And his main squeeze, 3 teeth on bottom, 2 on top.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circus Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circus Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circusports.com for details.
You know, living here in San Antonio and South Texas, a water softener is almost a requirement. The water is hard. You know this. It affects your appliances and all of that kind of stuff. And the best water softener to buy is a Connecticut quality water softener. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. They're made in America. up to 80% more efficient than competing models. Got a simple design, fewer moving parts, and the best thing about it is there's nothing to plug in. There won't be an increase in your electric bill. Kinetico quality water softeners are the best in the business, and right now they have got the best deal for you. Kinetico is going to let you try a quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. Call them today. 656-PURE. That's 656-7873 or KineticoSA.com. You know the jingle. Sing it with me. Kinetico, the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Kinetico.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the first annual Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 3rd from noon till 2 p.m. while supplies last at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children. Only while supplies last, so don't be late. Saturday, August 3rd from noon to 2 p.m. at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm and in part by Las Palapas, ProStar Home Care Services, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson, getting you to work on a Thursday. Maybe not to work even.
That's about time.
I would think you're going to work, but maybe some of you guys are getting off work. Maybe you're going home, take a nap.
Lucky devils.
My nap yesterday,
world class.
No, it was awful. They got to get this Chick-fil-A by my house finished. They got to get it finished. They were jackhammering concrete yesterday.
I thought they'd be laying concrete.
That's what I thought.
Why are they
I think they must have made a mistake. You only jackhammer at the beginning. This thing's almost done, and they're jackhammering. Why, man?
How? I mean, is it seriously almost done?
It looks like it should. Like,
now you're going to run into a traffic problem at the Chick-fil-A. Those things are busy.
It won't affect me.
Good.
It won't affect me. And by the way, I give Chick-fil-A credit with this. The most efficient drive-through line. I mean, there's not a drive-through window. There's a drive-through sliding glass door.
Right.
And you've got people at every possible. There's people like waiting in the parking lot to take your money, so you don't have to wait at the window. Like, I mean, they've got it down to a science.
If it ever comes time for another mass distribution, like when everybody's getting in line to get vaxxed, let's just give it to the Chick-fil-A people. Let's just let them handle all the logistics. They've got.
They know what
they're doing. And now they have these fully automated. Like,
they should let Chick-fil-A run the military. Now that I think about it,
and now
it's much more,
because what you're getting is what my local Chick-fil-A already has, and they have the.
Rob,
strap on the laptop and the visor thing that now they're fully self-contained.
Yeah.
Each Chick-fil-A person.
And now this could be there may be even more modern stuff coming to this Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, you're probably newer than mine. But the thing is, I got bad news because mine was shut down and they remodeled it, and it took them probably 3, 4, 5 months.
See here, there's a Chick-fil-A less than we're talking half a mile.
Oh,
so that one I don't know if it's going to close down or what. So if you're familiar with that area where I live.
You're at like 1604 in Blanco
and Hebner.
Right.
But so at 1604 in Blanco, there's like a shopping center that's got a Target and
on the outside of the loop right there.
Yes. It's got a Target. It's got a Whole Foods and all that stuff. Right across the street from that Target is a Chick-fil-A.
That's the old school one.
I don't know if that's going to stay or go. But now on the frontage road between Blanco and Hebner is a new Chick-fil-A. And you can see it's got the sliding doors. It's ready to be.
They'll both be busy.
You think that? I was going to say I don't know if they're going to shut the other one down.
I wouldn't. Why?
That's true. You can't have too many of those.
I've never been to a Chick-fil-A that wasn't busy.
I wish that I could be like the only Chick-fil-A that's allowed to be open on Sunday. Well, you'd make so much money.
You'd be going to hell though.
I swear, every time I think to myself, you know what would be really good right now? Chick-fil-A. It's Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I never want Chick-fil-A on a Tuesday.
Is Chick-fil-A is a huge sponsor of the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm. On where they play their games.
They choose not to serve.
There is in the Mercedes-Benz Dome, that's Falcon Stadium, there is a Chick-fil-A.
Yes. Unused.
That is not used on game day Sundays.
Now, but Saturdays, college football. You can get to all the nuggets and number ones you want.
What a business model.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
But it's also, Sunday is the worst day for people to take the day off from food service. It's the day I want to eat.
I get it.
I hate that barbecue places are closed on Sundays.
There was a big to-do in San Antonio for a minute that Chick-fil-A lost their franchise in the airport. And it was because of their political stance, basically.
Oh.
But my argument was, why would I want a restaurant in my airport that's closed on Sundays?
Yeah.
I would like to know that every restaurant in the airport is open on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And sadly, Chick-fil-A's business model does not fit that. And they were exited the airport.
But there's a lot of airports that do have a Chick-fil-A.
And that are closed, that are fenced in.
Mm-hmm.
To me, real estate is valuable. I'd rather, when I go, have every opportunity there.
Yeah.
And maybe we can find a Bush's Chicken that would be more appropriate and open on a Sunday.
Yeah, but are they going to get business?
No, well, if you're looking for a nugget or a wing or a gizzard, as Minix will eat.
The NBA, the Team USA parted ways with Kawhi Leonard yesterday.
What's the quote?
I forget what it is. When I heard Linda Cohn say it, I was like, what? He was asked not to return or was asked to leave.
You can't quit. You're fired. Is
like
what it
Kawhi got drunk at practice and slapped an assistant coach, and they were like, "You're out of here, bub." That's not what happened, but that's what they're making it sound. Now, Grant Hill is also doing his best to say, hey, this was a USA basketball decision. Nike didn't make this decision. We all remember Isaiah Thomas not being on the Dream Team in '92. That was,
funny. He was an Adidas guy even then, but that had nothing to do with why.
No, it wasn't a shoe thing, but it was the biggest star didn't want him around.
Michael didn't want him. He didn't get to go.
I don't know if LeBron is saying we don't want him here, but I could very much picture Nike saying that, especially given, again, when I talked about Kyrie and Jaylen Brown, two guys who are probably not high on Nike's list of people they're happy with. If you're just tuning in, remember Kyrie was fired by Nike after representing him for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Fired by Nike because they said his anti-Semitic views crossed the line. Jaylen Brown came out and said, oh, now Nike's got some ethics, huh? Now Phil Knight wants to have some ethics. But when they're firing Kyrie, that's the first time we've seen that. And remember, Jaylen Brown wears Nikes, but takes the swoosh off of them. He wears Kobe Bryant model shoes, but not Nike branded ones because he doesn't think Nike's offering enough money to rep his shoes.
And Tatum has his own Nike shoe.
Yes.
Not just as an endorser, has a shoe with his name on it.
Yeah, a Tatum model. But you could make the argument that both those guys that's probably the two names. So here's the list of guys that aren't on the team that are available in the player pool. If you remember, there are 41 players put on into the player pool. Jarrett Allen wouldn't be an option here. Paolo Banchero, I think he might be playing for Brazil now. Like once he didn't get asked to be on the Olympic team, but I don't know if he is or not. Desmond Bain, Scotty Barnes, Mikal Bridges, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Jimmy Butler, Alex Caruso, De'Aaron Fox, Paul George, Aaron Gordon, James Harden, Josh Hart, Tyler Hero, Chet Holmgren, Brandon Ingram, Kyrie Irving, Jaren Jackson Jr., Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, Dame Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, Bobby Portis, Austin Reeves, Duncan Robinson, Derek White, Trae Young. That was the list of names they had to choose from. The biggest name on that list is Dame Lillard. Well, I shouldn't say that. James Harden, Chris Paul.
They're all
the biggest,
formerly or about to be big time names.
Dame Lillard is of the guy. If you said who's the best player right now, that's not like who is the best today, highest rated NBA player that's not on the team, it'd be Dame Lillard, right?
Yeah.
I get why they're passing on him. I don't know. I think if Dame Lillard wanted to be on this team, he would be. Like if Dame Lillard if he wanted to play in the Olympics, they'd say, sorry, Tyrese Halliburton or somebody like that. But I don't think he wants to be involved, which whatever. After him, it's Kyrie Irving or it's Jaylen Brown. You can say that guys like James Harden, Chris Paul are bigger names, but they are and more accomplished players, but they're clear down arrow guys. I think Jaylen Brown and Kyrie Irving are in their primes, which Kyrie Irving, I wouldn't have thought that a year or two ago, but I think now it's safe to say there's still some ball in that dude. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're not the ones being asked to play here. And I don't know if it's real easy to spin it as, well, we wanted someone to fill a certain role. Okay, but how else would you spin it other than like you can't, no one's going to be convinced Derek White's a better player than Jaylen Brown.
No, but he plays a different position and does different things, and they're trying to fill a void left by a guy that was going to be a defense-first, non-ball demanding dude that could play some guard, and Derek White actually fits that bill more than Jaylen Brown does. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, why he's there.
Jaylen Brown and Kawhi Leonard, their games aren't all that different.
No, you're right. They're not. I think that the Phil Knight thing played a huge role, but I think you could justify this. I think you could say, well, the reason that Derek White went, he was the first guy left when we made our cuts. This is the kind of thing we're going to need against the kind of teams we're going to play. And Jaylen Brown is redundant. There's 3 other dudes on my team, 4 other dudes that do exactly what he does.
And the truth is maybe, and I saw this argument and I can kind of believe this. When Christian Laettner got asked to be on the Dream Team, he understood when he took that spot that you ain't going to get much playing time, Bubba. Derek White is going to see the floor less than anybody on this team. And maybe that's what it is, because Kawhi would have bitched about playing time, and now they're like, okay, now we've only got 11 mouths to feed. And I'll be honest, like when I was making teams for baseball tournaments, I don't know if with basketball, do you have a set amount of kids like you have to have this many?
No.
Okay.
I had to have 5. That's all I had.
If you wanted to take a 16-man roster to a tournament, you would have been allowed to?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's the same way with baseball.
It'd be a nightmare, but
that's what I'm saying. Like there were tournaments where.
So, okay, what's your ideal number?
12.
See, mine, ideally, I wanted 8. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
9 was okay, but that 9th probably wasn't going to play much. You know what I mean? But 8 was my rotation. Always was.
Now, mind you, the difference between baseball and basketball is you
got pitchers you got to deal
pitch
with.
Counts.
Yeah.
Like your kids can only throw so many pitches. So I wanted to make sure I had enough pitching, but other than that, it's like, I want my center fielder to play all 6 games this weekend, and that's where he's going to be. But with basketball, like you said, you want 8. Ideally, you'd play especially in a international competition, you'd play your best 8 guys all the time. Now, there's too many egos for that.
And everybody's going to eat. I mean, everybody's going to play because there's early games, late games. But let's look what happens in the medal rounds. Who gets in? I don't think we're going to see a lot of Derek White.
You ain't going to see Derek White at all. So you can say, well, they got him for his skill set. No, they got him because he's not going to bitch about not playing.
Exactly.
And Jaylen Brown and Kyrie.
And they've been there and done that. I mean, both of them have served their time. They've done their duty. I mean, it's been a minute since Brown was there. What, 19? It's been 5 years or so. But
But for Jaylen Brown,
he is going to be the permanent. It's something about his personality. It's something about the way that he's accepted his role in Boston already. He took more money to take less notoriety. He knew the moment he signed that whopping deal to stay in Boston, Tatum was always going to be a bigger name. Always. Tatum is a bigger name, even though today he is the MVP of the tournament that won the title.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown it's his team.
That's wild. And if you want to, I got news for you. Like the list of the top paid players in the league is, it's mostly dudes who are in Paris or going to be in Paris. Jaylen Brown is a marked exclusion from that list. He and Bradley Beal.
Well,
but it's odd that the guy who was the MVP of the NBA Finals is not there. 3 of his teammates are going to be there.
I can tell you this. If he had chosen to take a little bit less money and to go be a star on another team, to be the lead dog, he'd be on this team.
You think so?
I guarantee you.
You mean if he wasn't on the
If he'd
Celtics?
left the Celtics and gone off to be, you name the superstar on the team, wherever that city might be, he'd be on the team. But by taking the afterthought of I'll always be Robin to Batman, but I'll take more money and I'm going to stay here and live in the shadow. That's the rest of the world. I mean, now we all see him as that. You are an expendable quantity. We look at those two together and you're not with Tatum. Well, we're not going to miss you.
It's wild to me that and the guy making $49 million next year, $49 million. The only guys that are paid more than him that aren't going to be in the Olympics, Paul George isn't going to be in the Olympics. Kawhi won't be there. Karl Anthony Towns won't be there. And Bradley Beal. That's it. Everybody else is going to be there for playing for Team USA or for somebody.
And it's going to be interesting. This is Grant Hill's first Olympics as the head of USA basketball.
Yeah.
And while he doesn't put the team together, I mean, the head coach gets the end say, Grant
Hill put the pool together.
That's what I'm saying. And Grant Hill was part of this discussion as when Kawhi was exited. This is going to be a referendum on him. And if they spent, all this effort on all these old dudes that aren't really ready to go, and they really didn't pay attention to putting together a team, which it feels like they have with the Derek White edition. This will be a reflection on Grant because this is his first go around. And, as he takes over the mantle for the next 20 years, he might stumble out. He's not stumbling out of the block. This is minor. This doesn't affect the outcome of this tournament at all.
No, I don't think it really matters. To me, it's more about,
pecking order.
If you commit yourself to being part of Team USA. Like we talked about, Caitlin Clark didn't do any of the camps, didn't do any practicing. So when she's not on the Olympic roster, it makes sense to me because she didn't do the things.
Well, that's the excuse.
She didn't do the required stuff to be in the player pool. Jaylen Brown did do the required stuff to be in the player pool.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, it comes down to who are the guys who are most deserving and whose turn is it?
Well, that's the wrong way to attack it. I think that's the reason we've had to have these redeem team and redemption teams, because we sent just the top 15 paychecks to a country.
Then you know what? At what point do we go back to that to where it's like the NBA dunk contest where top guys aren't going to be involved in this then?
Well, I think we're luckily, LeBron and his generation, and LeBron specifically, and Wade before that, they cared about Team USA. I mean, luckily he cared. But if he hadn't cared, we would have had the Olympics. I don't want. Who are the guys that will deem it worth their while?
I got news for you, Rob. This is the last year that Steph Curry will play in the Olympics.
Half this team is
Steph, AD, Kevin Durant, LeBron.
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, certainly those guys, maybe even more. Maybe Joel Embiid.
He's done. This will be his last one.
These guys aren't going to play in any more Olympics. No. So, and those are the biggest stars. Like, you can say Bam Adebayo is a glue guy and whatever. But, Anthony Edwards is a rising star, certainly. But the star power is LeBron.
They're all in Europe, dude.
LeBron,
all our
KD,
best players
Steph.
are European.
Those guys are going to be gone. And you think Jaylen Brown's going to be in the player pool next time the Olympics come
he's
around?
done too.
You don't want to be involved in this.
No.
So now, one day you're going to get to a point where when you say Derek White's going to the Olympics, a Derek White caliber player is going to be like a key guy. That's when we start to worry. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL. If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
Taylor McCart joining us, Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning. And even Feinbaum said the other day that he thinks Arch will be the starting quarterback by the end of the year.
Mr. Feinbaum knows exactly what he's doing, and especially spending some time around them. They clearly get along. To me, the biggest thing, though, for Quinn Ewers is just got to stay healthy. That's the only scenario I could see. I don't think it's going to be a performance issue.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-785-9545. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-785-9545 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-785-9545 to see if you qualify. That's 800-785-9545.
One of the preeminent researchers in the field of gratitude, Robert Emmons, writes that grateful people experience higher levels of positive emotions, such as joy and optimism, as well as being protected from the destructive impulses of envy, resentment, greed, and bitterness. So what would your life be like if you experienced and practiced more gratitude? And what impression would your life of gratitude have on others? And here is a bit of encouraging news. You can actually grow in gratitude. And there are two simple words that help us do that. Recognize and acknowledge. Recognize and acknowledge. Gratitude begins with recognition that something good has come into your life. Acknowledgement is recognizing the giver attached to the good gift. In other words, it's about seeing good and saying thank you. It can start with the giver of all good things, God the Father. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Ew,
Gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever. With the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
94.1 FM. San Antonio Sports Center.
The Texas Rangers lost to the Angels of Anaheim 7-2 last night as slugger Adolis Garcia will participate in the home run derby at the All-Star game as the hometown representative. He has 17 homers on the season. In college athletics, UTSA announced a partnership with fast food chain Wendy's. They will be the presenting sponsor for UTSA's women's athletics program. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, punching it in on a Thursday. Rob Thompson and AJ Hoffman. We've been talking Team USA basketball and whether or not they made the right decision, the right call by adding Derek White. And a lot of people are saying it's not about the best players. And you know what? I get that. It's more about creating a team, but usually, if you lose a guy, you want to bring in someone who's similar from a
because your game plan's set.
Yeah,
you got a plan, you got ideas, you got backups, you got a rotation where you have certain things on the court at certain times, whether it's represented by a player or a skill set. So yeah, this is a massive hiccup. This is not just, oh, we'll replace him with another superstar. This is plans in the works. This is high-end stuff. And you have to find somebody with the same kind of skill set to do that.
And I think, I don't know, I think Jaylen Brown has a similar makeup.
He doesn't wear the right kind of shoes, AJ.
That
slows him down. He's not effective.
That's the part that bothers me. But again, I'm not here making the final decisions. But it does feel Like maybe they're not prioritizing the right things. And again, if Team USA wins, which they are likely to do,
well, Jaylen Brown might be the lone dissenter vote in that. Like, oh yeah, let's see how they do now without me.
But if they do, then this story goes away. No one cares, right?
Well, if they lose, well, I do think that we are looking at a changing of the guard with the Team USA. So I do think there'll be a ripple effect. And if I'm Jaylen Brown, and others like him, I do want to be kind of clear on. You're going to invite me if I come do this, right? You're not going to embarrass me, and this is an embarrassment for him. If I do the things that I'm sacrificing time and effort and doing the things to be part of the Team USA, and when it comes down to it, I'm a superstar who was just named the MVP
of the NBA Finals.
And you're not going to invite me? How freaking dare you, man? I'm out. And anybody else is kind of like, if I'm not on the inside of this, if I'm not wearing Nike and I don't kiss Phil Knight's ring and I'm not part of the Cosa Nostra that is the swoosh, I don't get to be a part of this. Well, screw you guys. I'm out.
It's kind of a scary thought for the future of USA basketball.
Well, that's exactly where Nike wants to be, though. If you want to go be Team USA, you better have the swoosh on your feet because it's going to be on your chest.
But listen, first of all, we know that these guys, the first priority is who's giving me the bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These guys are, I mean, I want to say they're not getting paid to do this. They're all getting.
There's something. Yeah.
Something. But this isn't their main source of income, obviously.
Oh, this is charity work, man.
But
it really is.
But so the guy's first priority is gonna be like, if Adidas wants to pay me X million, and Nike's not touching that, I'm an Adidas guy.
Yep.
More than I'm an Olympian. But the truth is, we've talked about Europeans and Africans and South Americans. The best players in the world right now aren't Americans, and the best ones that we've had are going away as the game becomes more international and the more and more great players pop up in these other countries. It seems like a bad time to alienate guys who want to play for Team USA because of what shoe they're wearing. It's again, I don't think it's going to hurt in 2024. But I think your pool is going to get shorter in 28 and shorter in 32. And you could say, well, these other in 30 and these other in between years, nobody cares about those. Like it's nice to win, and we'll all throw a fit if they lose.
Win the FIBA World Cup,
but we care more about the Olympics. Yeah. When we lose in the Olympics, I don't even care about the Olympics, but I'm embarrassed if USA basketball doesn't win in the Olympics.
Well, in any basketball competition, it's embarrassing when Team USA loses. But this is what you get when don't look behind you. Somebody's gaining on you. Yeah, they've gained on us. They're not here yet, but there's a time in the next 10 years that if you don't send your absolute top best, you're not going to win. It's becoming truly the World Cup in soccer, where if you don't have your best and you're just sending one or two dudes, that's not enough.
Iman says, remember Steph wears Under Armour, and he does, but also remember Steph doesn't wear Nikes and take the swoosh off of them like Jaylen Brown does. Remember that Steph wasn't a Nike guy who got fired by Nike like Kyrie did. Like, there's a difference between not being a Nike guy and being an anti-Nike guy.
Yeah, Steph didn't go with Nike because they mispronounced his name in the pitch. They called him
Steve Curry,
Steven. And you're like, well, I think this is completely done. Earlier, AJ, we were, talking about we need to start taking some calls. We talked about that.
I remember.
Did you see who's sitting on the line?
Don
Harris.
Oh, I don't know Don Harris.
Well, you need to meet him.
Okay.
Don Harris, the News 4. Get him on.
Oh, Don. This is a newsman?
Yeah, Don's the dude.
Hello, Don Harris.
Don Harris, meet
What's up, fellas?
AJ Hoffman, Don Harris, the News 4 San Antonio.
Great to meet you, sir.
Hey, what's up, Don?
I'm rarely up this time of day, but every Thursday I am, and I listen, and I think AJ's a fantastic addition to the station, man. Congratulations and welcome to San Antonio.
Well, thank you, Don.
Well, on your way and to do your Thursday duties, what's up?
He's my favorite newsman in this town, by the way.
You chose correctly.
So I'm listening to this discussion about Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and I thought, I think I can add a little bit of insight because I had a great conversation with Pop after the 21 Olympics about the roster, and it was obvious that Kevin Durant was the best player in the world, and whoever he would have been on would have won the gold medal. But Pop convinced me the second most important player that he refused to go to Tokyo without was Drew Holiday. And remember, the Bucks had won the championship, and Drew didn't get to join the team until literally the day before the first game. He didn't go to any of the tune-ups, the exhibitions. They were doing the parade and winning the finals. And Bradley Beal was in the pool and with Jerry Colangelo and others had suggested they just replace Drew. And Pop said, I'm not going to Tokyo without Drew because of what he gives us. And I can guarantee you the Nike talk and the Jaylen Brown bitterness is valid from that point of view. But I know Grant Hill, and I know the guys that run USA Basketball like Pop and like Grant Hill and like Steve Kerr. And Grant's philosophy is that this team is like a piano recital. You need piano movers, piano tuners, and piano players. And not everybody can be a player. Jaylen Brown's a piano player, but Derek White's a piano mover. And you need those guys on the team. The guys are not going to get the credit. The guys are going to do detailed, dirty work. And it's not a fantasy team, and it's not an all-star team. The dream team was, and that's what kind of got us mixed up, was because in those days we were dominating by 50. So you just rolled out the top 12 guys in the world and put them on the team. They don't construct the team like that anymore.
But if that's the case,
team like a regular team.
Then why was Kawhi on this team? Like if they needed this roster spot to go to a piano mover, why was Kawhi in this spot to begin with?
Because I think they could have, talked certain guys who were piano players into playing a role, and I think Kawhi could have played that role like he did with the Spurs. We all talked about Kawhi winning the 14 MVP. He wasn't the MVP of that team all year. He was the lockdown defender who contributed about 15 points a game, but he had a really good playoff run. But he served the purpose much like Bruce Bowen did on those teams as a lockdown defensive guy. And I think what they're looking for in Derek White is a guy who's not going to look for shots, like you said, who's going to be happy with the minutes that he gets. And here's another thing, and I don't know the answer to this, but it's your investment in USA Basketball.
Right.
Derek White, is he there on the summers where they're not going to go and get a gold medal? Because it sounds to me
he was
like Kawhi knew he was hurt and wanted to bandwagon his way to a gold medal to put in his trophy case when he knew he wasn't ready, and they found out. They're spinning all this saying the Clippers and Kawhi don't want to play when really it's USA Basketball that wants him out of there because they saw him for 4 days and he's not ready to play.
That's it.
So, yeah. And so, I think it's their investment in USA Basketball over the years. Are they always willing to go on those summers?
Now Don, I agree with what you're saying, and I think that worked well under Pop, where you could say this is truly a meritocracy, and Pop can say, I'm not going anywhere without Drew, and he gets a Drew. But one of the problems with USA Basketball in the interim has been it's not a meritocracy. It's, who is the biggest star and who is going to find the time to come and go? Is Grant Hill going to be able to maintain the meritocracy idea after guys like LeBron who have looked at the Olympics as a big deal that mattered? Can we continue to go this route if the next generation doesn't look at it as nearly as important as LeBron has in his cohorts over the last 20 years?
I think going forward, they'll continue to reward the guys that prioritize USA Basketball in the summers where you're not going to get an Olympic gold medal. And sometimes they understand, like LeBron this summer that he made Space Jam, and he's also an outlier. He's LeBron James. You're going to do whatever he wants. But the guys like Jaylen Brown, the guys like Jason Tatum, the guys like Drew Holiday, the guys like Derek White, if you're invested in USA Basketball and you're their first choice and they think you fill a certain need, just like a regular GM constructing a roster, we need on-ball defense. We need a three-point shooter, a sniper, a Doug McDermott type. So they're constructing these teams this way now and not 12 best players, 12 biggest names, 12 biggest paychecks like they did with the Dream Team.
That's Don Harris. Catch him daily, even early on Thursdays, the News for San Antonio. I'm glad we could put you two together.
Hey, appreciate you taking the call. And again, congratulations on the new show. It sounds great.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, what a pleasure.
Hey, man.
Don Harris.
Blessed by the Godfather.
A big star. What is he like the sportsman?
Don has been sitting on that News 4 desk for as long as anybody's ever done it.
Is he like the anchor or is he a sportsman?
He's the News 4 sports guy.
Okay.
And has been doing it as long as most of us can. There's a couple of us that have been doing sports for a long time here in San Antonio, and Don's been front and center for a long, long time.
All right.
He is the conscience and the voice of San Antonio sports. I have no hesitation in saying that.
Well, very lovely to get the stamp of approval.
Well, yeah, you're getting high quality. But I do appreciate what he had to say. And that works, what Don says. If you've got the support of Team USA, and you can point to Derek and go, look what he did. He showed up and he came when he didn't have to. He's doing the World Cup stuff.
Well, and so did Jaylen Brown, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. And I do think, as much as the coaches have sway, this is still a company. Team USA basketball is sponsored and run by entities that have a financial interest in success. And because of that, they feel like they have a say. Phil Knight blesses things. He might not say do it or don't do it, but he certainly lets you know what his opinion is.
He did say something that stood out to me when he said Kawhi was he thought he was just going to show up and get a gold medal out of this thing.
He hit it on the head.
And
he thought Ty Lue would let him skate.
What? People don't like to hear this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You can't do that in Team USA basketball now. In 1992, Larry Bird had no business being on the Dream Team in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Bird was washed when he ate. Like, not only was he washed, he could barely walk.
Well, it kind of shortened his career. I think it ended it sooner because he did the Dream Team.
Well, 91-92 was the last year that Larry Bird played in the NBA.
Right. I think he would have had
done.
a year or two because that was it.
His back was gone. He was not. Larry Bird was nowhere near one of the 12 best players in the NBA in 92.
A different requirement. The necessity for Larry Bird was far more than on court.
Yes.
We needed to have him say, yes, we are still the superheroes of this game, and let's go show the world that we are.
And he was like, at that time, it was Magic, Michael, Larry. Those were the three biggest stars in the NBA. And whether Reebok or McDonald's or anybody want to admit it, they preferred one of the faces to be a white guy, and Larry Bird was the most recognizable white face that American basketball could throw out there.
Yeah, he happened to be white, but he had trophies and he had the bona fides. He'd earned it.
But by 1992, Larry Bird was nowhere near a top 12 player in the league. That said, we've talked about it's a different world now. You can't just say you can't have spots saved for guys who are just along for the ride anymore. So if Kawhi's not able to play, I don't care how good Kawhi is.
Right.
You know, if he ain't ready to play in this tournament, we can't carry him. And I think LeBron would be in the same boat, by the way. I know he said LeBron's got a different set of rules. I don't think if he might be the one.
Yeah, I think.
But
LeBron.
if KD or Steph Curry or Anthony Davis was injured right now and was like, well, I'm going to show up and I'll give you a couple minutes per game. No, sorry, bud. We're going to send Chet Holmgren instead. You'd be like, really? Chet over me?
He's a glue guy.
Like, yeah, he can play.
He's a glue guy.
And he can play.
And absolutely he can play. And I do think that, guys like Drew Holiday and Derek White, they're such luxuries. And only coaches like Pop can say, you know what, I'm not doing anything because I understand the luxury of having a guy that does exactly like we've described what Derek White does. That's going to come to play. That's going to be here on the weekends. They're going to stay out late, not going to get anybody mad at him, and is going to do exactly what is required to win a game and is capable of doing all those things.
All right. Tonight is the ESPY Awards, the biggest night in sports. When we come back, I want to talk about why it's happening tonight because I don't understand it. It's kind of off schedule, but there is a category with a San Antonio Spur in it. We'll talk about that next. This is Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the city of Houston, well, they got pounded. That includes where the Texans play football. What's the latest on that? We'll talk to the General John McClain.
He joins us at 5:15. We'll also talk about the debut of the Netflix series Wide Receiver. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Sometimes those independent bands are the coolest people to hang around with compared to the really famous ones with security and bodyguards and everything.
Sure.
You remember Diner Junkies?
Is that the coolest anybody you've smoked a joint with?
Oh, no.
Who's the coolest people you smoked a joint with?
Michael Turley.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
No.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2020. Take this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car really needs a wash.
The $20 McGuire's bundle includes Gold Class Car Wash for a showroom shine.
Get in zone.
And what about my tires?
Just spray the included Hot Shine tire coating and you're all set.
Get in zone.
The inside is not great.
No problem. The quick interior detailer in the bundle can help with that too.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 22nd and 23rd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms available online at sasportstar.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the first annual back-to-school drive. Saturday, August 3rd from noon till 2 p.m. while supplies last at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children. Only while supplies last, so don't be late. Saturday, August 3rd from noon to 2 p.m. at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm and in part by Las Palapas, ProStar Home Care Services, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We've made it to the big time.
You've been blessed.
I bet
Godfather has welcomed you into the family. You're now part of the fam.
I bet Don Harris isn't calling Jason and Joe's show.
Well, he's busy at that point.
Yeah.
But you got to meet the Godfather.
That's right.
You're a friend of ours.
Who's next? Pop? Probably going to call in and be like, hey, I was listening to you guys. I bet he does. I bet eventually he does. David Robinson's going to call.
Oh, Dave listens.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you he does.
David's my boy. He doesn't know it yet, but we're going to be real good friends.
Fast friends.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be eating barbecue together, hanging out, drinking a nice cold beer.
Just ask him for some investment advice because he's doing quite well.
Oh, is he?
Just ask, got a little something for me, Dave, a little pointer, a little something that I can go lay some money into.
I get it, man. I get the idea that Derek White fits a role. I just think the implications for this year aren't going to matter. This team is too good, but I think so.
Okay.
Long term, though, I think the NBA very much recognizes the players recognize there's a pecking order and there's tiers of players. And if you are at a certain tier and you commit to playing for Team USA and then you do not get picked to go to the Olympics, you stop committing to play for Team USA. And Jaylen Brown is on a tier where he expected to be asked to go. Now, Don made a good point. There are guys like Dame Lillard is a guy who isn't showing up to all the practices and doesn't, like I said, I don't know that he doesn't want to be a part of this. I don't think Dame Lillard's upset at all that he isn't on this roster. But Jaylen Brown, if you're playing in the World Cup, you care about the you care about the Team USA basketball. So when you're not asked to even be a replacement,
which is why I'm curious as to the reaction, because it feels like he really wanted to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
And if he really wanted to do it, why wasn't he already there?
And I think that's a good question too.
I mean, why wasn't he in Vegas working out with everybody else?
Well, why wasn't he picked to be on the roster originally?
Was it because he didn't want to do it and now he suddenly does? Does he feel entitled because of whatever? I mean, I don't get why suddenly he's butthurt. Was he going to be butthurt if Kawhi had gone? Would we have gotten a couple of monocle emojis once the team was playing in Abu Dhabi? And is he going to post that going, well, Kawhi shouldn't have been there. Was it me? Or is it just the fact that his teammate went instead of him? Would it have been okay if Donovan Mitchell was taken or Dame? But Derek White now?
Again, Rob, there's tiers.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek White is not on the same tier as Jaylen Brown.
But with that, I do believe that other players look at, like, if you wanted to be a superstar, Jaylen, I get that you chase the cash and more power to you. But, dude, if you really wanted to be in the limelight, you wouldn't be in Boston. You wouldn't have a ring. And you might very well be the best damn player in Charlotte, and you might even have a jersey on today.
But then if that's the case, why are there three of his teammates going and he's not? If it's all about limelight, Derek White doesn't get picked over Jaylen Brown.
Well, he chose to stay in the shadow of Jason Tatum for more money. That's what he chose. You chose that.
Derek White's well paid now. And
but he was not when he got there.
And he's the fifth best player on the Celtics.
I think you could argue that he's the fourth.
Okay.
I'll put him ahead of Porzingis.
Okay. Well,
but on a world, you're right, and that falls back to the meritocracy that the Team USA wants to be, and the idea of putting together a team. Is Derek White a poor man's Drew Holiday? Probably, and he's there. Drew's playing.
Gary says maybe Derek White was selected for his character.
Well, I guarantee he was. And on the other side of this, how many damn Celtics do we need?
But by the way, well, that's the other thing.
I mean, 4 Celtics on the team, that's enough. 3's plenty for me.
Well, Jaylen Brown would have taken Derek White's spot. There would still only be 3.
That's what I'm saying. That's enough. How many more are you going to? No.
I got news for you, though, about the character thing. If it was about character, Kawhi wouldn't have had that roster spot to begin with. Yeah. And also, I think at the end of the day, Team USA knows what's at stake here. You can't afford to lose. Character is a nice bonus, but it can't certainly be the first thing you look at.
Well, Kyrie's not there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said for that. Nobody on this list has done anything any more heinous than being duplicitous in their professional negotiations in life. Other than that, every one of these guys is good guys. I don't know if Kawhi's a bad guy. I think he's odd. He hadn't done anything to, warrant anything other than, a sideways glance. He just is duplicitous and won't do what he doesn't want to do. He's passive aggressive and tries to just get by on his game and don't question anything else I do. Yeah. I'm just a nice guy. When, dude, you let everybody along and you got us to this situation. And I think Don's exactly right. He tried to gravy train his way into a medal. My coach is there. Everybody's going to be cool. And suddenly they made him work for a couple of days. He's like, well, wait a minute.
I did like what Don said, though, about piano movers. And, it just feels odd to me you're
But Pop can say that. That's Greg Popovich. Can Tyrone Lue say that is what I'm saying. Is Ty Lue allowed to go, you know what? I want a bunch of piano tuners. I don't need a couple of stars. Pop can say that. Does Lue have I think he does because he has LeBron's buy-in. But not every coach can be a Pop and say, I ain't going without Drew Holiday.
Jaylen Brown, not only the finals MVP, also nominated for an ESPY tonight.
Well, at least he's free.
Best championship performance.
He's going to win. He's available. Everybody else is busy.
So here's best championship performance. There's 4 nominees. One of them is 2 people, Blake Corum and Will Johnson, the Michigan MVPs. The other 2 are lady athletes who, and I'm not just saying this as a women's sports denier. I don't know who these women are. Midge Purse. Do you know who Midge Purse is?
I thought that was a band.
Okay. She is the NWSL Championship MVP.
Western Soccer League?
I think it's North American Women's Soccer League. Okay. And Kayla Martello.
Oh, yeah, Kayla.
She is the Boston College women's lacrosse player.
Really spectacular winning moment.
And then Jaylen Brown. So he's on that list.
See, we can't take you, Jaylen, because you're going to be the lone NBA representative to the ESPY committee tonight.
So there is a San Antonio representative here at the ESPYs this evening, which, first of all, I don't know why the ESPYs are happening tonight. The ESPYs historically happen the day after the All-Star break, which is it used to be the one day where none of the major 4 sports were on.
But we found out there's no money in that.
I guess that's what it is.
We can't take a day off. Advertisers are paying good money to be on the airwaves.
So there's a full baseball schedule today.
Pretty much.
And the ESPYs.
Pretty much.
All right. Victor Wembanyama is nominated for Best Breakthrough Athlete. I'll be honest, I don't know what his chances are. I'll give you his competition. You tell me.
Oh, it's going to be.
Haley Bryant is an LSU gymnast, not the ultra mega hot LSU gymnast that Paul Skeens is hanging out with. What's her name? Livy Dunn.
Yeah.
Not her. I mean, Haley Bryant might be really hot too, but I don't know. Juju Watkins.
The UCLA.
USC.
Oh,
get it straight.
Yeah.
And CJ Stroud of the Houston Texans. That is the competition for Wemby. My guess is that CJ Stroud wins. I don't know how they vote on these types of things, but CJ Stroud plays in the NFL.
And he's there.
Yeah. And he's American. We love American athletes here in America.
I don't know.
That's just my guess. I'm cheering for Wemby. I want him to win every award. But if Haley Bryant wins, I'm not. Was she hot, Vic? You looked her up. Pop one of those full size.
That's Edwin. He's looking.
Oh, Edwin. Let me see that one. That's a good shot of her face. Yeah, she's not bad. She's got that gymnast body, thick thighs.
Oh.
Stop it. I didn't know. I've never seen her before though, so I can't. How are you broken through? If I've never seen you before, can you be the breakthrough athlete?
That's the breakthrough will be the award tonight.
You think so?
But it won't be her. But let's.
Thank you.
San Antonio.
Who do you think wins then?
Wemby.
Okay.
The only problem is he's not there.
Well, he's preparing to lead his country to a gold medal.
There was a time when we had a San Antonio team up for an SB a long time ago. High school kid here hit a half court prayer shot at the state tournament.
It was the play of the year or whatever it is.
One of those. And John Jay High School sent. I don't know if they won the SB, but they were nominated.
The big best athlete, men's sports. Who you got? Mahomes, Ohtani, Thug Scheffler, or Connor McDavid?
Connor McDavid is nominated?
Yeah.
It's Shohei.
I think it's Shohei too. Although I give Patrick Mahomes a lot of credit.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter how garbage your roster is. I don't know if they'll pick Shohei.
Well, he's a gambler.
That's right. And
no, he's not. Wait, no.
You know what he is? He's a loser. Like, be a trophy, bro. You know what Mahomes and Thug Scheffler have that Ohtani and McDavid don't? Rings. I don't know if Scheffler's got any rings.
Are the Dodgers playing today? Are they off? Because if they're off, he's winning.
Well, and it's there in his town.
It was a comedy of errors last night in Philly. So, but they're in Philly, weren't they last night?
Yeah. Best athlete, women's sports.
It's time. How many can one woman win?
Coco Gauff, Nelly Korda, Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark.
Oh, the winner is.
It's going to be Caitlin. There's no doubt. And you know what? They're really smart because it doesn't say Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever. It says Caitlin Clark, Iowa women's basketball. Even though, how about show me a trophy? I would pick Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson should be the best athlete in women's sports.
Is she nominated for anything else like eyelashes or?
Asia Wilson's not the eyelash guy. That's Angel Reese.
I'm thinking Angel Reese. Asia Wilson's the best woman basketball player.
Yeah, she's the best player in the Ladies Basketball Association.
Asia's going to win.
She should win.
Yeah.
Record-breaking performance. McCaffrey scores a touchdown for 17 straight games.
Pretty impressive.
Caitlin Clark breaks Pistol Pete's scoring record.
There's where she gets her award right
I
there.
hate that they say that.
She did. She did break his record. Now, it wasn't her record to break, but as far as the men go, he still holds it. But all time, no, it's hers.
Pistol Pete wasn't allowed to play as a freshman. Pistol Pete scored 40 points per game in college.
Yeah, we say the same. I mean, Kareem had to put up with that. Bill Walton, too.
Tara Vanderveer got her 1,203rd win to break Coach K's record for most wins by any coach. Well, these women want to win all the men's. They want to break their men's records and
it takes them.
Shove it in our stupid sexist faces. And Max Verstappen wins his 10th consecutive race.
Enough with Max.
I don't know who wins. I don't care who wins that. Best comeback athlete. It should be Joe Flacco.
That's the award I would never want to win.
Because it means you fell off.
Something terrible happened to you very recently.
Simone Biles, Paige Beckers.
Okay, does Simone Biles count because she got what do they call it? The wobblies or something at the Olympics?
I guess so.
She got something, but she only had it for like a week.
She had like vertigo.
Yeah.
Paige Beckers, Joe Flacco, Zion Williamson. Best play, Jada Coleman, the home run for Oklahoma to win their 4th straight title. Anthony Edwards dunk of the year. Lamar Jackson catches his own pass and runs with it. There's only one answer here. Alabama scoring on 4th and 31 to beat Auburn. That was the best. 4th and 31. Dude, you can't let that happen. Here's the one I want to talk about, though. Best team. Who wins best team this year? I think it's going to be UConn Huskies.
Nominees, UConn.
It's basically every major title winner. South Carolina women's basketball, Chiefs, Michigan Wolverines, Aces, UConn Huskies, Boston Celtics.
We're missing one.
Florida Panthers, Texas Rangers.
Still missing
and
one.
Oklahoma Sooners softball.
Oklahoma Sooners softball.
Even though they lost games this year?
How many titles have they won in the last 4? If they haven't already won this thing, they better win it now.
How about where's the men's college World Series champions?
Who?
Huh?
Can anybody even name the college world champions now? We remember what happened.
We remember the runner-up.
Do we? All I remember is they lost their coach.
They lost their coach, or
I just know that wherever
left?
their coach was, they can no longer find him. He's moved west.
Yeah, so disrespect to the Tennessee Volunteers baseball team.
What about the most underhanded, deceitful move in the sporting world? Do we have that one? Can we have our own particular, like, black, dark ESPYs?
We do have that. Most underhanded move.
There we go.
Kennedy Carter assaulting Caitlin Clark is the runaway favorite. That's assault, brother. Best college athlete.
Oh, well, that's another. Put that in her pocket.
Well, men's college athlete.
Oh.
Jaden Daniels, Zach Edey, Usman Sila. You familiar with him?
Nope.
Clemson soccer. And Pat Kavanaugh, Notre Dame lacrosse.
See, they're going to have to do that to those participatory kind of satellite sports. Somebody like that from lacrosse that nobody knows nor nobody cares is just going to have to win it to show the inclusivity that they really are paying attention to how well Boston College's lacrosse team was.
Yeah. No one cares.
No one cares.
You know what I saw this time that I was like, oh, that's weird. The best soccer player in the world. There's no who do you think is nominated?
Mbappe.
He is nominated.
Messi.
Nope.
What?
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Nope. That's how I know I'm out of the soccer world. I'm
Harry
behind
Kane.
Nope.
I'm running out of names that I recognize.
Aitana Bonmati. You familiar?
I thought that was a lovely rice dish.
Naomi Girma.
Nope.
Vinicius Jr. Plays for Real Madrid. He's a Brazilian. He's teammates with Mbappe.
Okay.
And then Kylian Mbappe, France, Real Madrid.
So who's voting on this? Americans?
I don't know.
Do we know these people?
I don't know. All I know is if they give Scotty Scheffler best golfer, I'm going to be disgusted. Well, if that thug, and you know what? Chances are good, even if he doesn't win, he's just going to go up there on stage like Kanye did and be like, listen, I know Lilia Vu had a hell of a year, but I had the greatest season of all time. Only the cops could stop me.
Well, I hope there's not a warrant out for him in Cali. I hope there's not some cops waiting for him backstage, like some of the MTV Music Awards where they're ready to bust.
Thuggery he's done there.
The crime wave.
All right. When we come back, I want to talk about, we're going to talk, well, you know what? Before we talk NFL, we are going to talk some NFL, but I also want to talk about something non-sports. We haven't done any fun non-sport stuff all day, and I've got some good stories today. I've got another Hertz rental car story. Hertz Rent-A-Car may be the worst company in the world. Like I've been working here since the beginning of May. This is the third crazy story I've read about Hertz rental cars. But we'll do some of that stuff next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Right now, you can stand and look at the glass of water that you left on the kitchen counter. I want you to go look at it really closely and look at what's going on. Is there any sediment at the bottom of that glass? At the top of the glass, are you seeing any white powder there? And while you're looking around, go look at your ice maker. Look at your ice. Is it cloudy? Is it kind of foggy? And then I want you to walk into your bathroom and see is there this scale right around the shower nozzle? Are you seeing that? See, if you're seeing it, you don't have a Kinetico water softener. Because I got a Kinetico. I don't see that stuff. My Kinetico water softener has been taking care of me for years without one problem. Connecticut owners all around San Antonio, they go through life without even thinking about their water softener. They're not buying salt as often as you. Their power bill is less because they don't even plug their water treatment center in. I bet you do. See, Connecticut is the water softener designed and built in the United States. It is the ideal water softener for San Antonio and South Texas. Whether you're taking water from the aquifer or out of a well, you know that what comes out of the ground, boy, it makes some good sweet tea and some fine light beer. But I'll tell you what gets left in your pipes and on all your appliances is stuff you don't want to live with, and Connecticut takes care of that. Call them today, and you can have a Connecticut free of charge for 90 days. Let them prove to you what I already know. It is the water softener you need here in San Antonio, and you can get it right now without any kind of commitment. If you'll call 656-PURE today, they're going to come out and put one in your home, and in 90 days from now, guess what? You're going to join the Cool Kid Club, because I bet you become a Connecticut water softener. They say it. I absolutely believe it. It's the last water softener you're ever going to own. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details, but remember this number, 656-PURE. Call it today, and you can thank me later.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circus Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rake. Circus Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circusports.com for details.
Welcome to Staples, young man.
Tomorrow's my big day.
Big day?
First grade.
Aw. Well, Staples has crayons, markers, glue.
I need a laptop.
Oh, yeah, sure. With Staples Hot Deals, you can save up to $300 on select PCs for school.
Wait. The finances are mom's department.
Right.
I'm looking for performance, like a Core i7 processor.
Boy, first grade has really changed.
Tell me about it.
Save big on tech for school with super low Staples Hot Deals. Right now, get up to $300 off select PCs at Staples. Ends 8/24.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-205-5350. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-205-5350 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey.
That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick.
What's going on?
Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Exactly. But the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too.
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry, it's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, he'd look like me?
Go where everyone goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Punching it, baby. Boom, 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 boom. I'm a puncher.
Been punching it all day.
You notice that, right?
About every 15, 20 minutes, that's the punch happening.
Every damn time. The NFL is right around the corner. At least I like to think it's right around the corner. It's not really, but we're getting there. I want to talk next week. We're going to talk about this New York Giants series that's on.
The frat bros that run the NFL, those dudes.
I love it. I love what they're doing with this show. Hard Knocks has really got it kind of figured out, I think. And it felt like they were kind of jumping the shark, and they come with something new. And this offseason, this is way more interesting than what's happening at training. Training camp's the same thing every year. And especially now that they cut out people getting cut. They're like, we don't want to show that. That's insensitive.
For people losing their job.
That's absurd.
Do you really want to know? Do you really want to find out what's going on behind?
I do.
Don't we want to?
No, I want drama.
You rather? Well, I don't want to know. We'd like to think that the NFL, I mean, this is this billions and billions, $1 trillion entity. That when we're talking about players, the likes of, I don't know, Saquon Barkley, that, a guy like him could be moved on a suggestion just on the side, like, I'll give you so-and-so and so-and-so for this.
Dude.
Like it's a fantasy deal. I'd like to think they're putting together like PowerPoint presentations, and you got all the college grads looking at numbers and futures and prospects and this and that, and they've put together this offer, and it goes to this other organization. Not just a couple frat dudes standing around the sign.
Just that.
Hey, what do you do? What do you want for Saquon?
It's not just that, because you could see they were like the science of, okay,
we want it to be science. I don't think it is.
I think it is. I think there is some. They're like, this is what we think Saquon can get on the market, and we think that we're offering him what he'll get. He ended up getting more than they thought he would.
Right.
But I loved hearing the phone call to him where they're like, hey, we're going to let you test free agency. We're not going to tag you again. He's like, we're just asking you, when you get that offer, let us know, see if we can match it. And I find that fascinating. Wouldn't you love to hear the Cowboys executives talking about Dak's contract right now? Wouldn't you love to hear that?
I would. I absolutely would. But here's the problem. My concern is, for most of this stuff, you always think that these are brilliant men, or at least people that are focused and trying to do the very best by me, the fan. And the more you find out that ain't the case at all.
Well, if you don't think the NFL is a good old boys club, you haven't been paying attention.
And that's why I'm very afraid that you don't want to see the curtain pulled out too much. You don't want to see the sausage made, because it's always a letdown. Always.
There is a list out now, NFL teams with the most expensive tickets.
To go
watch the games.
All right.
Who do you think had I'm going to
Vegas number 1.
Vegas number 1 is correct. That is the most expensive ticket in the NFL. The average ticket price last year, was $168.83.
Wow, and that's for up to. Okay, so Vegas, though, the home team is the road team.
Usually.
Yeah.
More often than there's some Raiders fans. There's not a lot of Raiders fans that live in Las Vegas.
Right, they're all coming in.
They come from Cali, or the road team takes over.
What's this, in your experience, season ticket ownership? Who owns those season tickets? Is it the casinos that own blocks of hundreds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's some locals who have figured out the game of buying season tickets and then reselling them.
Oh yeah.
I
was always curious. I saw a lot of silver and black in the stands, and if they're not from Vegas, are they just buying them and driving in, or is Vegas putting, Raider fans that are flying in from, parts of the world just to see that kind of stuff?
Who's the next highest ticket?
I would start looking up there in Dallas. Probably getting pretty close. Or New York, probably the Giants or Jets, probably third.
You'd be surprised. Dallas, is 18th on the list.
Good for them.
$116.69.
Wow, that's a $50 difference.
Is the average ticket
But
price.
he's also putting 80,000 in that building.
Yeah. The Giants are 11th on the list.
Wow.
$126.74.
Somebody's charging a lot of money in a low dollar market.
And the Jets 112. They are 20th on this list. Number 2 on the list, it's a high money market, San Francisco.
Oh, that makes sense. All right.
$161.33. So they're about $7.50 short of the Raiders, but still, it's a pretty pricey ticket. Third is still the New England Patriots. Now the drop off from $161.33, it goes to $142.74. So it's a pretty big drop, almost a $20 drop off on average ticket price.
Do you think that's market up there just because that's the market,
Yes.
or are there just some diehard Patriot fans that are never going to give up their ticket?
It's both, but it's there are diehards, but also it's sports in Boston is different than sports here. And number 5 on this list is another market where sports is different. But number 4 is Green Bay, $141.48.
That's just because of scarcity, I think.
I mean, they have a 81,441 person capacity. Average home game attendance is 77,829. So they're not even averaging a sellout.
They were filling that building.
Nope. Number 5 is the Philadelphia Eagles, who their capacity is 69,596, but their average attendance is 69,878. Somehow they're always well over. But again, Philly's one of those Philly and Boston are the markets in this country, I think, where sports matter more than anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. There's no hesitation.
Like they just live and breathe it.
They do winning, maybe even more.
Number 6, the Denver Broncos. Maybe a little surprise.
You know, I look at Denver kind of like I look at Green Bay, that they're this island in the middle of places where what are you going to go see?
Right.
If you're not going to see the Broncos, what are you going to go do?
Kansas City 7, Bears 8, Seahawks 9, Steelers 10. The cheapest tickets in the NFL, Arizona Cardinals. Buffalo 2nd, surprisingly. Cincinnati 3rd from the bottom. I'll give you that rental car story coming up. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding to work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel for my friends at Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. You know, summer is here, and that means long, hot days for everyone and everything, including your roof. Our hot Texas sun pounding down can degrade and age your roof. So for residential or commercial service, you need a reliable roofer you can trust and afford. That's Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net or call them at 210-785-0994. That's 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign. all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Know your T level, and if you have low T, your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
The Texas Rangers lost to the Angels of Anaheim 7-2 last night as slugger Adolis Garcia will participate in the home run derby at the All-Star game as the hometown representative. He has 17 homers on the season. In college athletics, UTSA announced a partnership with fast food chain Wendy's. They will be the presenting sponsor for UTSA's women's athletics program. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Rob and 8, I let San Antonio go out a little too long on that. I didn't punch it hard enough.
Oh, no, that's acceptable.
They start over. Can we start this over? Maybe.
Now, you can't rewind the machine that is.
I think we can.
Okay, fire it.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson here on a Thursday. That was a punch, right?
That was solid. That was solid. You practice like you play. You play like you practice. Back and forth. That was well done.
Morning Huddle, baby. we're having a good show today. We're having a good time. And we haven't even gotten to do all the fun stuff yet.
Now we're going to rent a car in Oxnard.
We can't do it from Hertz.
5 of us. And we often do use Hertz.
We need to stop. Listen, since I've lived here and been doing the show here in San Antonio, we've had a story where a guy who was charged for failing to refuel his Tesla. We have a person who was fined for tolls before he even rented the car. He was in the air. He was on an airplane headed to go to the town where he was picking up his car 4 hours later, already getting charged tolls for that car.
Paperwork error.
And they, you know what, the thing that Hertz does that bothers me is they don't fix it. Like they just say, well, we can't do it.
It's too big of a problem to get addressed right now.
One guy got 4 arrests, spent 30 days in jail, and had a miscarriage.
What?
Yeah.
He had a miscarriage?
Yeah. No, she did.
Oh.
It was a lady.
Oh, okay.
But she spent 30 days in jail. A father and daughter were held at gunpoint and arrested.
Oh, because I've heard this story. I've heard of this.
Their cars get turned in, but they don't get shown up in the system.
Right, and it's listed as stolen. These dudes are just driving around, get pulled over, driving a stolen car.
Hertz reports these to the police, and then they stick by the story, even though someone else has rented the car now, and they let these people, their customers, go to prison or go to jail. Well, the latest story from Hertz, this guy got a free rental. All right. He had he'd had enough points. He was a loyal enough customer that he had a bunch of points piled up. And they say, okay, well, we still are going to need your credit card, your ID and credit card, just in case, like in case you run off with the car. Well, he didn't run off with the car. He booked a week-long rental using his points, got deducted from his account, returns the car, and heads to the terminal. He's, I'm headed out of here. They email him the receipt, and it shows a paid rental, not the points that he agreed to, but a paid rental, but not to his personal card that he gave them, to his company's credit card. So now his company is like, wait a minute, you spent how much? You spent 6 days on our dime driving around?
Well,
how's that work? And here's the downside also. He showed them the original reservation, showed that his personal card was given to them. Like, this is the card number that I gave you. But Hertz decided to use a different reservation than the one that he had created.
That he had a name under his company that they grabbed instead of his name. Gotcha.
Yes. And they said, well, we're sorry. It's $400. So it's not like the end of I'm sure he's not getting fired over this. But they say, we're sorry about any misunderstanding regarding your points, which I don't know how that could be a misunderstanding. I'm saddened to hear about the inconvenience during the rental. However, please be advised that since the reservation was already completed, we're unable to use your points for a completed reservation.
So they're not even going to try. So what you're telling me is you're not even going to try to fix this. Unable.
But as a goodwill gesture, we will return the points you'd redeemed for your rental.
Well,
so we're not only going to charge you, like, we're going to give you back the points that you were going to give us for this free rental. So you don't have to give us the points and money.
Just the money.
But here's the deal is, if this were his own credit card, it'd be easy. I'll dispute the charges. You can't really do that with, you don't want to get your company involved in something like that, because here's what Hertz does. When people dispute these charges, when crazy things happen,
go to arbitrator. They arbitration.
Well, not only that, but they ban you.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, it's a giant, you don't want your company to get banned from using this rental car company. Like, to me, if Hertz messes with me, I'll be banned. I don't care. But do I want the entirety of Alpha Media banned from using Hertz? That's probably not the best.
Doing us a favor,
right? But Hertz, their problem is, they don't fix issues.
Because they don't have to. You don't rent cars in your backyard. You rent cars in some place where when they say no, what is your option? You can go across the street and hope they have cars? I mean, you don't rent cars in your home city. You're someplace else, they screw things up. You got to deal with what they got to deal, what they have for you, and you try to fix it later. You're just trying to get a car and get to your meeting.
It just seems wild that if you've got an issue with an airline, they try to resolve it. You've got an issue with a hotel, they try to resolve it.
What happens is, and this is when people hate lawyers, the reason they start to resolve things is they get sued for this crap. Now, Hertz got sued for this and got popped for about $150 million for having like 400 people arrested driving around cars that weren't stolen. So now people are going to go pop them. There's going to be a class action suit. Hertz is going to lose their lawsuit. They're going to raise their car rates just because they got popped by a class that's going to cost them several $100 million. But they won't have this problem anymore. We're going to end up getting it fixed after they pay through the nose.
Yep.
And they'll be fine with it because they're still making money today. They're just going to put some of it away for when they do finally get popped for the judgment. And when that occurs, rental car rates will go up about 8%. But you'll finally get the customer service that you finally deserve.
Down the Hertz rabbit hole, I found a story where, and this is an older story, but they refused to retract false police reports because they were worried if they retract it, then the police won't believe them the next time.
That's an excuse from the firm. See, that's a lie. That's not
certainly
why
a lie.
they didn't do it. That's not why they didn't do it.
This is the
that the police won't believe them. That's their excuse. Your corporate excuse is no longer will the police believe us when we tell them there's been a stolen car because we've made some paperwork errors in the past. So we're not going to report it. That's what you're telling me. That an average person who might have called 911 3 times saying, what the temperature is on the 4th when the cops don't come. No, they're still coming. So your excuse was, if we tell them that we've made a mistake, they're not going to believe us anymore. The Chicken Little defense. $1 million. And that's why lawyers are circling them with just waiting. Do something else, man, because you're so far in the wrong. We're going to get you.
That's wild. It's wild that their customer service, like that. I don't know. They just don't seem to care.
No, they don't. Why should they? Because your customers have no recourse.
Here's another wild story. This has got to be the craziest day ever. This is Florida, of course, and you, as a former Florida man,
a proud former Floridian,
will respect
I'm
this.
Still on their voter rolls, by the way.
You're still on what?
They still send me ballots, even though I have written them letters. I am no longer a citizen.
Wow.
You think Florida's jacked up? They are.
You might want to vote there. It's a swing state.
Well, that would be illegal.
Michael Thomas Tizzetto has been charged with 2 counts of possession of a stolen shopping cart.
Well, we're surrounded by felons if that's the case.
And they dropped 1 charge. He had 2 counts of it, but only the prosecutors dropped 1 charge.
Like the big cart or the little cart?
He pleaded no contest to the other and got sentenced to time served. Okay, cool. A week later, he's accused of coming in and out of the lobby of a McDonald's, disturbing the peace and making a mess. Management wanted him banned. He said that he needed EMS because he was eating the food from inside of the garbage can there and it was making him sick.
I'll do it.
He was laying on the sidewalk in front of the main entrance to McDonald's with with trash from the garbage bin surrounding the floor around him. It turned out he'd already been trespassed from this McDonald's twice. Once in August of 2021 and once 2 days before this incident. So he was arrested again and given a warning and given a citation to appear. 3 weeks later, they found him again when they arrested a woman for theft at a Dollar General store. And this is the wildest day ever. The defendant, Michael Tizzetto, who is known to officers through previous dealings, this is on the arrest report, including a couple hours earlier today when he was trying to pull a theft suspect out from under a bulldozer while she was bathing in feces and performing a satanic ritual.
Is one required for the other?
I don't know what the
Or is
rules
one-
on
is it-
satanic
or is she
rituals
just
are.
multitasking?
But because this was done, first of all, I don't know why a bulldozer was in a Dollar General parking lot, and how the feces got underneath it, especially enough to bathe in. But because the defendant was associated with the theft occurring, Dollar General advised that he was trespassed and could not come back. He was asked to leave 5 times and did not leave. He was also covered in feces, mind you. You'll never guess what they found on him when they went through his bag.
A Bible?
That would have been my first guess. My second guess, though, was the correct answer. 2 glass meth pipes.
Oh, of course. Well, I thought that went without saying.
Yeah. What a day.
That's just another day.
This guy can't go anywhere. He's not allowed at any stores. And then finally, there was a call, and there were people saying there are 2 couches and a chair next to the building, closer to the building than normal. He was one of those individuals. He was trying to help his friend get right because she's homeless. It turns out he'd been told not to go there at some point and was trespassing once again. He said that he took some items inside a wagon that he was carrying, a water hose and a reel, and a business sign valued at $250.
So the wagon was okay. That wasn't a stolen wagon.
No,
it was
that
the
was his
shopping
wagon.
cart that got him. Okay.
Yeah, and 2 road cones he also stole as well.
Well, you gotta
If
save some spots.
If you're a junkie meth head, why do you need traffic cones and a water hose and a reel for the water? Like,
if you gotta ask, you don't need to know.
I just don't know that much about meth.
Obviously, you've not caught up on the crowd.
Later,
man.
he stole a rake from the front entrance of a Dollar General store, a different Dollar General store.
This guy's like Scotty Scheffler, man. He's a
a
one-man
thug.
crime wave. What
He's a
town
thug.
in Florida is this?
Let's see. It is Lady Lake.
Well,
are you familiar with that one?
No, but Lady of the Lake, it sounds like they've got themselves a local Otis.
Yep.
Now, how did the woman with the feces tie into this?
She had stolen.
So he was trying to help her out.
He was trying to help. He was trying to be like a Batman.
Oh, so he was doing good.
Yeah, that's what he said. Which I guess the alternative is telling the cops, yeah, I was bathing in poop underneath a bulldozer with this lady.
They were at church. You can't question what I'm doing at church. I know we were underneath a bulldozer wrapped in feces, but we was praying. We was in church.
Well, he'd stolen this rake, and he then went to a Boost Mobile store where he was found. That's where he stashed the rake. And he was carrying a pink purse. And they said, this might not be his purse, but let's check it anyway. And what do you know? More methamphetamines were found inside his pink
or at least
purse.
he's
Yeah.
protecting what's valuable.
This guy, he is the Scotty Scheffler of Florida.
I want to get to know this guy. He's busy.
He is. He's too busy for me,
it's
man.
all the meth. He's staying active.
That's the thing about being a meth head is you got to wake up like, how am I going to crime today?
Get busy. I mean,
what are we doing today?
One feeds the other. Where am I going to get my shopping cart?
What's my crime of the day?
But first, I got to go to church.
All right. I want to talk about I know it's not the All-Star break, but we're 20 days from the trade deadline. Want to look at some teams and what they're planning on doing at the trade deadline in Major League Baseball, including the Astros and Rangers. We'll do that next. The Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How you feeling today? Did
Good,
you wake
man.
up this morning feeling good about yourself?
Punchy.
Nothing paining you and keeping you out of life. If that's you, keep it to yourself. Because so many of us live daily with pain that you just start to accept. And in this day and age, why? There are fixes. There are answers out there like Arasti. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio with one goal, with one overriding mission, and that is to get you out of pain. And it's how they do it that has made them so successful, because it's not about things that hide the pain or some kind of process that's long-term that'll eventually work if you follow all this. No, I'm talking about getting fixed fast. I am living proof. I've had lower back issues most of my adult life, spent a lot of time on the road and, beat myself up. what I found was Arasti did things differently. When I went to an Arasti provider, they said, let's give you a full evaluation. Let's find out why you're hurting. And I found out it wasn't my back that was the problem. It was my hamstrings. They fixed the hamstrings and my back pain went away. I want that for you. If you're living in pain, you can get it fixed and go to an expert like an Arasti provider to get it done. They're all around San Antonio. They accept most insurances. And here's the good news. You don't got to wait. You don't need a referral. Call them right now. The number is 1-800-404-6050. Go to their website. It's Arasti.com. They've got a map of all the providers. There's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. I'm very comfortable. And while you're there, nose around a little bit. Tips and tricks to stay healthy and get healthy. That's why I'm an Arasti patient. Call them today, and I know you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the city of Houston, well, they got pounded. That includes where the Texans play football. What's the latest on that? We'll talk to the General John McClain.
He joins us at 5:15. We'll also talk about the debut of the Netflix series Wide Receiver. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit ConsumerCellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the first annual Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 3rd from noon till 2 p.m. while supplies last at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children. Only while supplies last, so don't be late. Saturday, August 3rd from noon to 2 p.m. at Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm and in part by Las Palapas, ProStar Home Care Services, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Home Run Derby finalized. The participants are in.
Adolis
Garcia.
I'm going to go grab his bobblehead and put him on the bobblehead wall of fame by Charlie Pride.
Garcia is attempting to become the 3rd Texas Ranger to win the Home Run Derby. Can you name the other 2?
Jim Sundberg.
I'll give you the years. 1989 and 1993.
89. I have no idea. I really don't.
Ruben Sierra.
Oh, yeah.
1993, Juan Gonzalez.
Juan Gon was on the, but that felt early to me.
Well, that's when you get old.
Yeah,
it feels that way. Like Juan Gon was there when Nolan was there, so I saw a lot of. I mean, Ruben Sierra was there too, so I saw a lot of that. and then I think, God, that was a long time ago. In my mind, that's still like 20 years ago, but I'm like, oh no, that's not 20 years ago. That's
like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The rest of the field, Adolis Garcia, Teoscar Hernandez, Dodgers outfielder, has been confirmed. Pete Alonso, Alec Boehm from Philly, Gunnar Henderson, Marcelo Zuna, Jose Ramirez, and Bobby Witt Jr., the 8-player field. The favorite in a shocking development is Pete Alonso.
Yeah, that should be. Yeah, is that a hitter's park? I don't know. Rangers hitter's park?
I didn't. It feels kind of. I mean, I've only been there
dead
once.
air.
It feels kind of neutral to me.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like a pitcher's park, but
There's not. I mean, Pete Alonso's a name, but this isn't like home run derbies of the past. I don't feel a lot of gravitas toward this. The biggest hitters aren't there. We don't have Aaron Judge. We don't have no Shohei. I mean, we don't have that. I remember, I guess it was San Diego, 2 years ago? Were they in San Diego 2 or 3 years ago?
I don't know.
A couple years
Pretty
back.
recently.
The Derby there was spectacular. One for I don't even remember who won, but I just remember the scenery, the video, the picture of the ball sailing out of, that was an incredible home run derby for everything, the sights, the sounds, and the feel. I wonder how this is going to feel in a beautiful building, but it doesn't quite have.
I don't know on TV it's going to be quite as cool,
and that might be a problem.
I like it because I mean, they keep the air conditioner cool in that place. It's like our studio.
Nothing is as cold as here.
No, not quite, but it's close. But Pete Alonso, I mean, yeah, is he the name that that an Aaron Judge or somebody is? No, but he's looking to win his third.
I know.
Home run derby. I think there is, like, you get these guys who it's kind of like, oh, that guy's a home run derby specialist, and we forget this, but Pete Alonso's had a 50 home run season. Like, he is a home run. That guy, he's already at 210 career home runs. He's playing his 6th season of Major League Baseball. Think about that. This is his totals by year. 53 his rookie year. 16 in 2020, the COVID year. 37, 40, 46, 18 this year, coming up on the All-Star break.
Is it the Metdom? What is it? Why do I not give him the love?
Because he's last year he hit 217 with his 46 home runs. That's why.
Well, that's just the league.
He's like Joey Gallo or somebody like that. It's like, yeah,
Joey Gallo was one of ours. I'm astounded by those numbers. I didn't quite register.
Yeah, Pete Alonso hit some bombs.
I knew his home run hitter in the middle of July. Feels like Craig Hodges. He's got a specialty.
Adolis Garcia, the only guy in the Derby who is not an all-star.
Well, they had to find somebody. You have to have a hometown rep.
Yeah,
you do, right? I mean, you absolutely do.
I think you need.
I think they have to have a home run rep.
Who are the Rangers? Who's the Rangers all stars?
Evidently, Scherzer can't. He won't.
Let me see. AL All Star roster. I guess I should probably know this. Who the?
No, you're not going to know.
The All Star rosters for the Texas Rangers. It is Marcus Semien and Kirby Yates, relief pitcher. Marcus Semien would be lame in the home run derby. So, yeah, it makes sense. Boy, slim pickings for Rangers. That feels not all that thrilling. The Astros have Altuve, Yordan, Kyle Tucker.
Yep.
And no pitchers from the Astros were welcome.
The last time Tucker gets to wear a Stros uniform in an All-Star game.
No. Well, it depends if they keep him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just don't think it's going to happen. So maybe this will be it.
Well, I mean, because he's under contract for next year, so
I said keep, not sign.
Okay, so you think he's gone after this year? That'd be something. The trade deadline is approaching, fast approaching, and the Athletic did a list, like basically kind of got a feel for where these teams are coming into the All-Star break, if they're buyers, if they're sellers, what the feel is. And I wanted to look at the AL West. So Jerry DiPoto, who is the president of baseball ops in Seattle, said that they are willing to absorb additional payroll and willing to trade top prospects to add a quality bat or two at the deadline.
See, we were just wondering, when is Seattle going to hit the wall?
So Seattle has kicked tires on Luis Robert from the White Sox, Cody Bellinger of the Cubs, Jazz Chisholm of the Marlins, Pete Alonso of the Mets, and Christian Walker of the Diamondbacks. So he says they are ready to make some moves happen at the deadline to make sure that their bats catch up.
Well, okay. That directly affects here in Texas.
Well, the Houston Astros, Dana Brown has made it clear to other front offices that he is focused on adding two things: a veteran starter, which makes sense because they don't have one of those, and an impactful long or short-term solution at first base. Thanks a lot, Jose Abreu. He has talked to the Mets about Luis Severino and Pete Alonso. He has talked to the Diamondbacks about Christian Walker, also the Cubs about Cody Bellinger, Andrew Vaughn of the White Sox. In terms of starters, Astros have shown interest in Garrett Crotchet, Eric Fetty, Jack Flaherty, Chris Bassett. You say Kikuchi?
I say Kikuchi.
Kevin Gausman, Cal Quantrill, and Austin Gomber, amongst others. So the Astros looking to add a starting pitcher and first base
All right,
help.
so we have dueling GMs now. Who makes the first move? Does Houston wait? Or do they go ahead and, because we're talking about the same dudes. There was some overlap between what Seattle.
Some.
Does Houston get proactive?
I want to. But if I'm Seattle and I'm saying, okay, I want to add a bat, if I've got an option between an outfield bat and a first base bat, I'm in that first baseman.
Well, yeah, for two reasons. Yeah.
The Rangers, I don't playing a little better now, but because the expectation is they're going to get DeGrom back, they're going to get Cody Bradford back. They're adding pitchers without making a deadline deal. And they have said Cody Bradford's going to come back and be a relief pitcher. That doesn't mean they won't add a reliever or bench player in a deal, but don't expect them to make significant trades as buyers. Ken Rosenthal said that he would not be shocked if the Rangers were sellers. It's not out of the question that the Rangers could jump the market while the other teams remain in limbo. They may want to move on from players before anybody else does.
Wow, that would be a kick in the nuts to the fans.
Straight off a World Series.
That would be so Tampa Bay Ray, Wayne Huizenga, let's dismantle while I can, burn the house down. That would be such a kick in the nuts to those fans that waited 30, 50 years to finally get a ring and to wave it all goodbye in less than a year.
Yeah. The other two teams in the AL West are obviously sellers, but they don't have a lot of super interesting parts. They're listening to offers on starting pitcher Tyler Anderson, closer Carlos Estevez, and utility man Luis Rengifo, and outfielder Taylor Ward. The A's, their cupboard is even more bare. They've stopped taking calls on Mason Miller as they plan to build around him unless someone makes them a ridiculous offer. Can you build around a closer if you're one of the worst teams in baseball? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Depends on if Grimace is involved.
Okay. The Chicago White Sox are the headliners of the selling. They have said out loud.
You want to talk about a garage sale?
They have said out loud, we are open to trading anyone and everyone on the major league roster.
Man. We suck out loud. Anything you need?
Garrett Crotchet and Luis Robert will only be moved if they clearly are overpaid and win the trades. Otherwise, they'll keep them and build around them because they're young, controllable players. And that's if you're going to overpay and give up more in a trade, you want guys that you can keep around on the cheap. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it appears that Eric Fetty, the most likely White Sox player. Remember, we talked about the White Sox having Eric Fetty, Michael Kopech. They've got a bunch of really good pitching. yet somehow they stink. And then of course the aforementioned Andrew Vaughn, who looks like they'll be moving on from as well. The New York Yankees are the other team that is of interest to people because we don't know what they are now.
Are they listed as buyers or sellers? They better be buying.
Here's what it says. The Yankees starting pitching, this is polite, has stumbled over the past month. By stumble, they mean they have the second worst ERA in the majors over the last month. They're optimistic the starting pitching will improve after the All-Star break.
Garrett's, he's feeling better.
But they've got concerns about the bottom half of the lineup, particularly second and third base, where they haven't gotten much production from Gleyber Torres and DJ LeMahieu. Well, that's the thing. When you pay DJ LeMahieu a lot of money and he doesn't perform, you just go spend more money. They were concerned about first base and Anthony Rizzo, but are hoping that this rookie Ben Rice can be the solution there. Giancarlo Stanton should return after the All-Star break, but they know that he's likely to get injured again. Yep. So they'll consider trading for a DH outfield bat as well. But they want to pursue a veteran starter to protect against injury and address concern over Luis Gil's mounting innings. And like most teams, they will probably try to add a reliever as well. And the Rays have already started trading off. They sent Aaron Savali to the Brewers, Phil Maton to the Mets, and they are expected to be active this offseason, moving everybody apparently, including Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau, and Randy Arozarena. So the core of their team that went to the World Series, they're willing to move on from them. So they said they're not about to have a fire sale, but will look to get younger and less expensive while remaining competitive, which means
fire sale.
They're done with them.
Sounds like a fire sale to me.
Yeah.
Under new management, closing soon.
They also have more money to use, short and long term, after placing Wander Franco on the restricted list. Franco will not be paid nor accrue major league service time while on that list. So that's good. I mean, you give out one big contract every 5 years, and we canceled that.
That's how you stay financially viable. So when's this deadline?
20 days. So it's the end of the month.
So what's the deadline after that one? There's always like 3 or 4 deadlines.
I'm not really sure because I think it's like 3 days after or something like that. But we're running out of time on it. All right. When we come back, we'll take a look at why you don't play parlays, Rob.
Oh, we were so close.
That's what every parlay player ever says. We'll do that. Take a look at the daily lines out in Vegas next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Tell me about your meat, Rob.
Oh, my meat is spectacular. And if you want to see some fine meat, go to sasportstar.com. That's where they upload their meat, our fine listeners and viewers, so Joe and Jason can judge their meat, and Tri-County can give them a $50 gift card. If you have not uploaded your picture of your meat, get it up there by 6 o'clock so you too can join the club of fantastic happy winners that have gone to Tri-County Meat Market and used $50 worth of fine meats. Let me tell you, if you haven't been over to their stores over on Huebner out on Ralph Fair, you really haven't experienced true artisanal service like they offer. We all go after good meat. We know what we're looking for, but have you ever had the help that they can offer you? If you're looking for a special cut, if you're looking for a different way to cook something that you're very accustomed to, this is what they do. That's why I love to go. Ask them questions about how to cook something different or uniquely. They know how to do it. And if you need a little bit of extra help, like the little things, like maybe you want the membrane taken off your ribs, they will do that stuff for you. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations. Ralph Fair and Huebner, there are specials every week. You're always going to save on the very best because they say it, I believe it, a great meal starts with great meat from Tri-County. But think of this, the rubs, the things that go along with your grilling needs, all in one location. Head over to Tri-County Meat Market, get some good meat, put it on the grill, celebrate summer the right way, and I'll be thanking you later.
San Antonio's Sports Star. If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Headline: Margarita butt funnel in booth of popular family restaurant rocks small Georgia town to its core. Was it a salted margarita? Is he using high end or bottom shelf?
Probably bottom shelf or the Heine Inn. Are there rules when it comes to butt plug margaritas?
It's a butt funnel.
Oh, funnel.
A butt plug would actually keep you from getting drunk.
Right home with a Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasic.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarships/official rules.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Final segment of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I can get a jackhammered nap in today. Still don't understand how you're jackhammering when you're that close to being done.
How far away do you feel like? Are they away? Like serving chicken? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 3 months?
I think under a month.
Wow.
It's got to be under a month.
Well, maybe they got all the jackhammering out of the way.
I would hope.
Maybe they were trying to beat the rain yesterday. Did you get any rain up there? Maybe that was the problem.
Got rain, yeah. But what, I mean, does rain force you to jackhammer?
I don't know.
I don't know a lot about jackhammering, but I feel like rain, if
you think of,
it's rained at my house a lot of times, and I've never been like, oh no, it rained. I better pull out the jackhammer.
Well, maybe there's a reason. I'm trying to find an excuse for the good folks over at Chick-fil-A for keeping you up, but at some point you're going to reap dividends from this.
At least I know they're not gonna be jackhammering on Sunday. Well. All right. Let's take a look at the daily lines.
Is there anything? I thought SB
the Morning Huddle.
nothing to gamble on.
No
Daily
longer.
Lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
First of all, Claymore on the Brigade Bar says, Rangers win World Series again. Can't wait for y'all reaction. Both of you low-key hating on the Rangers.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry, Claymore. I am not a Rangers fan, and I'm hating against them.
I'm not hating on them.
I'm saying a prayer against them right now.
Are you really?
I am. I don't. Not only do I want them to lose, I want them to be embarrassed.
Now, we share an office, and you have a lot of Rangers
I'm
bobbleheads.
Clay, come on, Claymore. What are you talking about? We're fans. We're truthful. That last year was God granting a favor. That's what last year was. God goes, you know what? I've reaped some pestilence and stuff on the world. I'm making planes disappear in the middle of the ocean. Never going to find them. But you know what? I'm going to do one good deed for all those folks in the Metroplex who have sat and suffered at 150-degree temperatures in 3 consecutive stadiums. Finally, I'm going to give them a title. Now, are they going to get another one? Nope. But, you know.
The Texas Rangers have the exact same record through 93 games as the Detroit Tigers. I got news for you.
Detroit ain't going nowhere.
Not just the Detroit Tigers, but also the Cincinnati Reds, Chicago Cubs, Pittsburgh Pirates.
So what are you belly aching about?
These teams ain't winning the World Series.
No.
Stop it with the Rangers are winning the World Series.
I'm
not a hater, but they're just not good enough to win the World Series. That's all.
That's
not hate.
You got to play the Diamondbacks to get a ring.
In fact, I don't think the Rangers go to the playoffs this year.
It would be a stretch.
I don't think they're a playoff team. But hey, man, I hope they best of luck to you.
Yeah, man.
I'm not like a Rangers hater. Like I said, I grew up going to Astros games until Nolan Ryan went to the Rangers, and then we went to Rangers games. My dad was a Nolan Ryan fan before he was a fan of any team. I would classify myself as an Astros fan, but also I'm in the minority of Astros fans when it comes to I don't have any sort of disdain for Rangers fans.
Oh, not like Mav fan. And the sad thing about Claymore is I know he's Dallas through and through. He's just a Metroplex sycophant. So, you if you don't talk good about something, obviously you're talking
hating.
bad.
I'm going to the Metroplex when the Golden Knights come this year. I've decided I'm going to make a road trip up there. It's in January. They only got one game there. So I'm going to ride up there and
represent, put on your black and gold and be an arrogant.
I'm going to be one of those, a road fan. When's the last time you were a road fan?
I've been in a couple Aggie games. I've been on the road.
I was I had a couple. I went with Texans fans, but I was Bills fan in the playoffs. So and that was ended in heartbreak.
Where were you?
In Houston.
They went to the Bills game. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, not a lot of roadies for me. Not a lot of roadies.
Well, when you're
I also don't go to
with
many
certain things, it's hard to go to the other side.
I don't go to many games as fans anyway. Like
that's the other part of it.
But I am going up to the Metroplex for that one. All right, let's take a look at first of all, let's start with what happened yesterday.
Well,
listen,
it seemed like a good idea at the time, AJ.
I said yesterday, I'm giving an exact quote. I think if you bet the favorites in the you know what? What we'll do right now is I'll just play the audio. I've got it right here. I think the favorites in the WNBA and the Ladies Basketball Association are going to go 4-1, 3-2 at the worst today. But you're going to go 4-1 and make some money. And Rob says,
I'm wrapping all 5, baby.
I'm parlaying all 5 of these bad. I said,
I'm
Rob,
a believer.
Why would you do that?
Because
if you go 4-1, you make a lot of money. Why would you parlay
but
it?
But if I go 5-0, I make more, baby. Chicks dig the long ball. I'm swinging like Joey Gallo, man. I'm going for it.
In a shocking development, Ladies Basketball Association favorites went 4-1 yesterday.
Stupid Washington.
Oh, is it stupid Washington or stupid Caitlin?
Well, Caitlin didn't perform up to expectations.
She ball hogged 29 points, 13 assists, 5 steals. She had to be the star, but it all came in a losing effort. They lost to the lowly Washington Mystics. That's humiliating.
It truly is for so many of us.
The Mercury, the Aces, the Sky, and the Liberty Bibbity all took care of business.
So here's the weird thing. I knew the outcome of that bet by 3:00 yesterday. Why did everybody play in the middle of the day?
That was weird. That was weird. Well, there's only one game today, and it's on Amazon Prime.
Well, of course.
And it's at 6:00. The Liberty back in action. They go up against Brianna Stewart and the Liberty, taking on Angel Reese, Kennedy Carter, and the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese, who has a record. No, it's a double-double.
Sorry.
10 straight double-doubles. A ladies basketball record. An all-time legendary record. She puts it on the line tonight.
So you're going to get fouled to get a gimme free throw to
no.
prolong it? Okay.
The Liberty aren't going to give you, they're not going to let her breathe. They're going to punish her. She's not getting 10 boards against Liberty. No way. So, Liberty 9.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I think they're safe.
I think they smash these guys. Smash the Sky. All right, enough late. There's only one ladies basketball game. Let's get to the baseball. And then we got to talk soccer for a minute, Rob.
I can't
believe what's happened.
Is it soccer or is it slap fighting?
Well, I don't have the odds for the slap fights.
Well, I mean, they both went down last night in Charlotte.
In Major League Baseball, our boy, Paul Skeens is on the hill today. Paul Skeens, a very, very short favorite, -113 favorite on the road against Milwaukee and Aaron Savali. Do you back Big Paul today.
7.5 money. What you got money at? 140?
Minus 114. I see here.
114. I got.
You having to pay a tax? You paying a Skeens tax?
I think I'm going to be paying the Skeens tax. These are, he's had a hell of a run. He's in the front of every publication right now because the talk of starting in the All-Star game and things like that. Pressure's getting a little high. I'm not sure I like this.
Okay. David Peterson goes for the Mets against Mackenzie Gore and the Nationals. A couple lefties on the hill. The Mets minus 135, which, by the way, yesterday it worked out. Patrick Corbin Day, paid again. Just listen, man. I don't have the data in front of me.
No kidding.
I don't have the data in front of me, but I tell you guys I've got systems. And when I say you want to bet a good pitcher on a bad team, like Paul Skeens, that's a good pitcher on a bad team. When I tell you the system that I have found the most success in is Patrick Corbin's pitching, bet against him. It's almost can't fail. He's like 1-40 this year. I don't know what he doesn't win. You can't lose with this strategy, guys.
Here's another opportunity today.
Well, no, he's not going to pitch back-to-back days, but
I'm so right.
We'll have to wait till after the All-Star break. But listen, we got to be ready when it comes. Nestor Cortez and the New York Yankees taking on Shane Baz and the Tampa Rays. The Yankees minus 112, the second worst ERA in baseball over the last month, and they're the favorites on the road against Tampa.
Seems nuts to me.
Seems a little nuts to me. Good old Jake Bloss. Everybody knows Jake Bloss. Remember, Jake Bloss was the pitcher for the Astros who came up, and he was the top prospect. He was going to save the day, and he pitched in one game and then went on the IL. Well, he's back, baby, and he's a minus 180 favorite against Roddery Munoz and the Miami Marlins. Roddery.
Is that how you say it?
Roderi?
Really? I don't know. I've never seen this name before.
I've seen Roderick. I've seen Robert.
He's feeling very Roddery today.
Roddery. Roderi?
That might.
Roderi? Is there something? I mean, his last name's Munoz. That sounds like an Asian last name. So we'll ask someone in the office. No. Yeah, got me fooled. Jordan Hicks and the Giants minus 114 favorites against Kevin Gossman and the Blue Jays. And the Rangers have decided to sit this one out today. They are
they went down to Anaheim last night. They'll pick it up again tomorrow.
They've decided, you know what, we need a day off.
Did you see what Scherzer was saying?
No.
He has a no trade clause.
Oh yeah, I did see this.
No, I'm gonna keep that in place.
Yeah,
I like it here.
I'm sticking around.
Metroplex. You ain't sending me anywhere.
Because I mean, listen, man, when you get to be a certain age and a certain status, and Max Scherzer's at that, you don't want anybody telling you where to go.
And also, just the heartbreak.
You want to be comfortable.
Well,
man.
I don't want him to trade him away.
Well, listen, if there's something to if Max Scherzer values going out and winning a championship, maybe he's open to it, but he's got one of those. He's got two of them now, in fact. Maybe now it's like, I just want to be where I don't want to move my family. Like at some point you get to that where it's like, oh, I could make more money or do something different there. Well, is it worth that to move my family? Maybe for Max Scherzer, it's not anymore. But good on him.
Yeah, he says that now. We'll see what happens in 3 weeks, 20 days.
And the Detroit Tigers, good pitcher, bad team day. Jack Flaherty going for the Tigers, minus 124 against the first place Cleveland Guardians, who are pitching Spencer Howard, another made up person. So
if I was going to focus on this Tigers Guardians, and I had a money line at 750 of the Guardians win by 1.
Hold on. A money line that they win by 1?
Yeah.
Like exactly?
Yeah.
And it
win
pays
by 1 run.
And it pays plus 750?
Uh-huh.
I don't like that.
I don't think so either. I'm just throwing things out there.
I don't what's the Tigers win by 1?
Plus 375.
I like that better. I mean, the number is not as juicy, but I you know what? I'm not greedy though, man. I take a dime at a time or whatever, a nickel, whatever you want to bet. I take it at a time. Now on BetUS, I take $50 at a time if that's what they'll give me. But I'll take the minus 120 and make my little wager and happily take 50, $60, whatever they're going to give me.
What is Jack Flaherty in your mind? Is he a good pitcher?
I think, yeah, Jack Flaherty's a good pitcher.
Good pitcher.
He's been very good this year.
16.5 outs.
I think he gets that. Yeah. The Guardians aren't like some big hitting team.
No.
What's that number at? 16.5?
Yeah. Minus 120.
Yeah, he's going to go 6 innings. I like that. That's a good wager right there.
Now we're talking.
Now
we've rounded into form. Okay.
And Frank says legalize gambling in Texas. Frank,
it's illegal because I'm doing it right now.
I couldn't agree more.
I feel like I'm doing it right now.
I know, but it's still like you're having to go through the Panama Channel and
I didn't say it didn't require a bit of technology, but I'm getting her done.
Yeah, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. So there you go. That's what's happening in the world of sports betting today. Oh, there is a Canadian Football League game tonight. Montreal taking on Toronto.
So it's the Alouettes and the Argos?
That's right. The Alouettes, 7-point favorites.
Who's the Montreal Alouettes starting quarterback, I wonder?
Somebody
I would have ever heard of.
I believe it is Kyle Allen.
Why wouldn't it be?
It should be.
If you really think about it.
Not Ryan Perilou.
That's the name we're looking for. Argo's up to 7.5. You like that?
I mean, yeah. If the market says 7 and I can get 7.5, I almost take it blindly. So generally, yes, I would take 7.5 there. Did you look up who the quarterback was?
I'm trying to. I was stunned by some of the names. I thought that Edmonton's football team was the Eskimos.
That's first of all, that's a really racist word you just said.
I guess that's why they're the Elks now.
Yeah, we don't say that word.
Now, Ottawa used to be one of the 2 Rough Riders. Remember they used to have 2 Rough Riders in the same.
Saskatchewan was the other one,
and they're still the Rough Riders. They won the battle. Ottawa is now the Red Blacks,
which you would also think is racist, but it's not.
Everybody sunburns.
Cody Fajardo is the quarterback of the Montreal Alouettes.
Well, that's why I'm taking him.
Caleb Evans also on the team. He's the backup for Fajardo.
Am I going to be able to see this game?
I reckon you probably would. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. I mean,
I'll tell you, the reason I bring that up, I was watching that new Netflix series Receiver.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's fluff. It's candy. It is cool. I mean, it's football.
Is it better than the Hard Knocks?
It's better. No, it's not better than Hard Knocks. There's no drama in this. It's just let's follow a bunch of receivers around.
It's like the quarterback thing last year, right?
Exactly. But I find receivers much more personable and enjoyable than most quarterbacks.
You know what, man? That series last year made me like Kirk Cousins more than I did.
I don't want to like Kirk Cousins.
I know. And I've heard this year the guy that it makes you like is George Kittle. Is that true?
Yeah, actually, Kittle had a really good segment.
He comes across really well.
But it made me just itch for football. I mean, you can itch. And on the heels of Adam Silver in the NBA announcing that, every night of the week you're going to have basketball when you finally get the opportunity. All I could think about with that announcement, which I'm pretty happy, was when am I going to see some football? I mean, I'm ready. It's time.
They used to ask before Monday Night Football, are you ready for some football? And your answer would be yes.
In Ottawa.
In Montreal tonight.
Montreal.
The
Alouettes.
All right, man. Another one in the books. I'm going to punch us out of here. So when you're ready, you know what? I'm going to do it now. We'll see you tomorrow. It's the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
94.1 San Antonio